friend, where are you? Found you hiding here in the near clear blue.
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
What?
Hey, the Pro Show is on!
Awesome! Let's turn it on.
Guys? Where'd you go?
Morty, let's check in on Bryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay.
I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Blimey, you fools.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird.
Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
It's scooping time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright, everyone, put on your opera glasses. Oh boy, Shut up now. I'm so excited.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Chicken jockey!
All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
You'll never take our freedom!
Baby born on the brownstone steps.
Harlem hit him with the right kind of death. No matter in the world where he goes away, can't take the soul out of his way. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Pipes made for radio, pro show will do. Breaking down the Hollywoods, break it down anew. Not a single day does our very own forget. Hudson River flow is where his path was set. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Morgan Freeman was born in Memphis. Diana from Detroit. But hey, looking up from Manhattan, Jonas is a hit it, big boy. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine.
All right, Jonas J. Campbell, we got a live stream of excellence to deliver to the folks out there. They deserve it, Jonas. And you're back.
I agree. That's right, children. Gather round. Pull up.
Well, hello, children.
Sit around the fire. We'll talk about the days of walking around in nature, seeing the squirrels and the turtles.
Jonas, I just got this notice. You have officially been canceled. You are not allowed to have more than one black accent. You already have Morgan Freeman. You, sir.
That wasn't a black accent. What are you talking about?
Was it not? What was that then? What are you doing?
That was my honky uncle Cletus.
Cletus. You have an uncle named Cletus.
Yes. And
why am I only hearing about this now?
White as the undriven snow.
Folks, have you ever heard about Uncle Cletus? Is this the first time he's bringing this up? I don't know about Uncle Cletus. Folks, let's go to the Patreon chats. We were supposed to do these last night. We were unable to because of incredible generosity. You all absolutely smothered us with super chats, and we went 45 minutes over last evening because of super chats, and we love them. We love it. We appreciate it, but we didn't get to these Patreon chats, so let's get to them right now from the Patreon. Here's what the folks have to say. Get ready. Aurora Uplinks has a little bit to add to this. It's been a long time. Story idea. Star Trek Titan. It opens up on Captain Data in command of a Federation starship. They're operating evacuation and protection of Cardassians in Romulan space. It was once favorable and related to the issue with the Dominion War, but the Romulan Talshir will have no more of the Cardassians. Cardassians? No, Cardassians. Something is afoot, and they're destroying the colony building by building and now pursuing and destroying escaping colony ships and transports. Data is working hard to keep his command ship between the innocent civilians and ruthless Talshar. It is hopeless, and they keep cloaking and more keep appearing. How many are pursuing them? Every momentary victory is just a delayed defeat. We must leave, Captain. We'll be destroyed. This is just like the Data stands firm. I know. We are not fighting for our survival. We are fighting for their survival. Continue escorting the Cardassian civilians. We will protect them with our lives in sign. Yes, sir. That would be a fun opening. And it's a fun opening to the show. More. Here we go. Snarky says, thank you for all you do. I so appreciate the community and journey. We are all on together to make a difference, and a difference is being had. Morgan King says, are your team keeping an eye out for Bridge? If you want more information on Bridge, ask Scribelight or Kersha, and thanks for the great work. Keep it up. Well, there's only one person I know that we can bring on who could help us out. He's the guy who just earned a brand new emoji you all voted for, Purple Potatoes. Let's find out. Does the man of the greenhouse also know about a bridge?
Come on, get the bear. Come on, get the bear. Come on, get the bear. Pepper buds and beans about care. Oh, culture.
Culture, you feeling better today? He said, folks, he feels magnificent. It's the best he's ever been.
Oh, I forgot. I have to turn the mute button off. Anyway, I feel great. I'm much better than yesterday. Not 100%, but close enough. So here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to fill the chat with purple potatoes. They're the brand new emoji, Culture.
That'll help. That'll help.
That'll help you feel good. Okay. Purple potatoes everywhere. By the way, welcome aboard to all of the Real Life Fake Wizard Raiders just joining us. Wiz and Marvin having a great show this morning. And Real Life Fake Wizard, of course, is he at 85, 90K? I can't keep up with the man. Every day it's like 3,000 more viewers. He's rising, Jonas. You know this guy, this Wiz guy, wears the fake beard?
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I think he's great.
Yeah. I think I think it's time to start a rival channel. I think Fake Life Real Wizard is probably the only option here. And he goes with the gray branding. Maybe Culture. If you take on Fake Life Real Wizard, you can be the white wizard or the wizard of many colors, as Saruman was.
I like being alive though.
Well, you have to be Culture the Purple.
Okay.
Because of the spuds. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how Barry the Music Man did this. How did he make $1.99, which we love a $1.99, Power of the Niners? Man, that's a lot of purple potatoes in the chat. How did Barry the Music Man put in a super sticker for $1.99 that turned red? How did that happen, Jonas?
I don't know.
I've never seen this.
It's pretty neat.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's incredible. You know what is incredible?
Is it the fact that Real
Ron
Life Wizard is in the chat?
Ron, he's a beautiful man. Ron played Gaston, so he's got to be handsome.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was friends with Gaston, and he did lots of push-ups.
Oh, come on. Drop the Disney talk. This man played...
Me to see you.
I wasn't at a park, so I technically was not friends with Gaston. I did play Gaston, so...
There you go. Mark Fields for $1.99. Positive vibes to you all. Good to see you out there. And also the First Dragon Queen member for 15 months. Good to see Pro, sponsored by That Food Place. Now serving ghost fish and tuft legs. We are not eating tuft legs. I don't want them fried. I don't want them broiled. I don't want anything to do with edible tuft legs. No, thank you very much.
Feels like a reference to the Muppets, though, doesn't it?
A little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you we've got one of our favorite panelists, and it's been too long. He's about to join us. Get ready. Let's go open the door.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
Hey, Paul, welcome aboard, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm the only one without a chroma key background.
We're working on you, Paul. We'll get you into the soul movement real soon. Back to the 70s we go. Paul, how you been?
Be here. It's good to be here on the Pro Show.
Good to have you. Good to have you. And we've got some conversations today about comedy and Star Trek and all kinds of things that lend in your forte, and I can't wait to get that underway with you, sir.
That is one of the few things I'm actually qualified to talk about.
And they've let you out long enough to do so. So, hey, Wild Man of Yavin for 5, Ron is Batman.
Ron?
Wait a minute. You've got the cowl? Did you play Batman too?
Oh, that Ron, yes.
Hold on. Ron.
Yes.
How is it you've never appeared in the cowl with us?
It's too early. I'm not putting it on right now.
All right. Well, he's played Batman officially. Jonas, I see some other things we need to put up on the screen. Could you do that for me, sir?
First of all, plaid overshirt. Plaid overshirt became a YouTube member at the, let's see here, if it'll tell me. It won't tell me. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for becoming a member at the Pro Silver level.
Hi-ho, and welcome aboard. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt today. I'm very proud of it. It looks like I'm wearing a blazer, but it's a Hawaiian shirt today.
It's a black Hawaiian
Does it have wooden buttons?
Hang on. Let me look. I haven't checked that. Yes, it does. These are real wooden buttons. Never accept a substitute.
Snarky D gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships. Look at that.
Hey, thank you, Snarky. We appreciate you.
This world, sweet baby, you're the one who's out of this world.
Now,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, now, folks, we've got a super chat goal today of 30 super chats. If we hit that, you get to ask special Q&A session to Paul Chatto and your best friends, Culture and Ron, and we'll see what's going on inside your mind. Help us hit the super chat goal today. Always an invitation, never an obligation. Last night was so so generous. We could never expect even more. But ladies and gentlemen, we have about 450 of you joining us, the highest IQ community online. Jonas, I'm ready for a good time. How about you?
I'm ready for a good time. So we did get this one here that says Ron is Batman, but there is a counter argument. I don't know if you've seen this.
What are we talking about?
That Paul Chato is actually Batman.
Grade
Holy
6.
expulsion.
This is me in grade 6, and we actually ended up in the local Don Mills newspaper. And here I'm punching out my teacher, Don Hudson.
I'm glad to see nothing has changed with you, Paul. You've been consistent. If nothing else, consistent.
I can't remember who played Robin, but anyways, yes, this was a...
Why is there no POW on top of the...
We'll blame the newspaper.
Lazy son of a guns back then.
Anyways, I've kept this clip, and it's quite
That's
adorable.
amazing.
My grandmother made that outfit, and it's it was.
It still fits today, apparently.
I just have to point this out. This is how differently newspapers used to work. It looks like in the caption they're giving your address away.
Did you in fact live at 1059 Don Mills Road, Paul?
No, that's where I used to live.
All right then. Well, wow. If anybody wanted an autograph, they knew where to go to get Batman's auto.
That's
I think this is. Isn't that cool? That was cool.
I feel blessed. I'm in great company. And you know, the funny thing, Paul, is that my mom actually made me a very similar costume by hand when I was around that same age, 6 or 7. So very cool.
I mean, and I think it's amazing. Well, notwithstanding the fact that we are holding on to our pasts, in such pretty embarrassing ways to this day. But how how it affected us back in the day. I mean, it was a fun time, and
I would guess we both feel better about it than Ben Affleck.
Probably so.
I would characterize it as we're desperately clinging to our past, Paul.
I am not a recovering alcoholic either.
The thing too that I think about when it comes to hanging on to your past, you know, there was a time when you talked to people, you met people, and then they went on and you went on and that was it. And maybe you'd see them, 10, 20 years later and say hi. Facebook changed all that. Social media changed all that. And even the people that you don't want to keep in your sphere, somehow you find out what they had for food that day. And it's very exciting. Very exciting. Speaking of which, purple potatoes.
Use of hard drive space.
Ever.
Selfies
with your quiche.
I'm currently in the midst of a fast right now, so.
Oh,
well, that's why you got a migraine. Then you should have told us that. That's not.
No, the fast started last night, but
okay.
Well,
is this religious or health or what? What are you doing?
No, it's just a yes, that's it. No, I'm celebrating a health. I'm celebrating a healthy fast right now, so it's fine. When we're done with the show, I'll have food. So.
Well, I hope then, Culture, it's easy to devolve into crankiness, and you have been accused not often, but of sometimes. I don't know. We're going to work on the timing on that, folks. We're going to get that right next time. Here we go. Diving into X, we've got Earth 616 and the leaks, the rumors on this supposed script that's come out. Boy, they're all saying some of the same things, but they're changing it up in little ways, and who knows what's right. I've told you I have my doubts about some of this stuff, but there is something that I think is afoot and maybe amiss at Marvel we need to talk about. Here's what this one's saying. It says the film begins with an incursion. Spoiler alerts, by the way, folks. Between Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man world and the X-Men universe, we've heard that. Deadpool Wolverine set to destroy Tobey's Earth using a world-destroying device built by Beast. Heard that. Wade, that's Deadpool, activates the device, starts a countdown. Spider-Man finds him. Massive battle ensues. Deadpool escapes by teleporting away. Wolverine stays behind to fight Spider-Man. At the last second, though, according to this one, as opposed to the others, the Watcher saves Wolverine and Spider-Man, thus protecting the merchandise for the franchise. Well done. Okay, and so you get the idea. And it goes on to talk about how X-Men are going to be destroying all these worlds and blah, 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 blah. we're getting, I don't know if these leaks are just building off the same thing and doing some tweaks. I don't know if this is part of the industry trying to build an enthusiasm and anticipation for all of this. But there is a leak out there that I think has real credence, and I think it's a horrible decision for Marvel. Here it is out of sci-fi.com. Avengers Doomsday directors explain why Chris Evans had to return as Steve Rogers, but not return as Captain America. This is by Josh Weiss. And here's what they say. Steve Rogers returned in Avengers Doomsday. Shameless cash grab or necessary plot point. Joy and Anthony Russo, sometimes called the Russo Bros, tend to go with the latter. After all, they're directing the gargantuan superhero blockbuster and its equally massive follow-up Secret Wars. By the way, we all think here, well, at least I do, trilogy probably. They're going to split Secret Wars into two. But casting RDJ as Dr. Doom following Tony Stark's poignant sacrifice in Endgame, bringing back Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, after he handed the Captain America shield off to Sam Wilson, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you all got it. But take a look at this. Here's what they have to say about Captain America. Quote, and this is why we're talking about this one and giving it the credence it deserves, because it's coming from them. Quote, we have a special affinity with the character. We can't see this narrative without his central role in it, basically. The special place he holds among the ensemble, he sort of retains that moving forward. Still, an uncomfortable question remains. Will Steve once again don the mantle of Captain America, or will serve as a sage advisor to the current iteration of Earth's mightiest heroes? Well, let's find out what they have to say. It says, the movie is very complex. We thought one of the best to give characters their own space and highlight some moments. He also assured Empire that each trailer carries important narrative information and it's all part of a larger story. Blah, 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 blah. One of the things that this goes on to talk about says suddenly yanking the title away from Sam would be a literal slap in the face. Not only the ex-Falcon, but the long-term fans who were expressly told it was time for a new generation to carry the baton forward. Guys, this is where I want to hang the hat of this conversation. We can talk about how it doesn't make much sense for Professor X to be going around destroying worlds, but I also think it makes even less sense to bring back Steve Rogers, and then because of some sort of fandom that doesn't exist, and because of some sort of expectation that we're moving on to a new generation, that we're not going to give him the Captain America suit, the shield, etc. If I am a toy manufacturer right now, I am screaming at them. No, give us Steve Rogers, Captain America. Put Chris Evans back behind the shield so we can make money again. Nobody cares about these mantle swaps. Paul, I'll go to you first. Is it a big mistake for them to bring back Chris Evans to be Steve Rogers but not Captain America because of the modern values and what it would seem like they were doing if they swap back again?
I think it is a bit of a bait and switch. I think you're right that I think a lot of people would look forward to seeing Evans back. And if he's not, I think people are going to be disappointed from purely, I mean, I've said many, many times, it would be nice to go back to the old Hollywood days of cocaine and hookers, where they just wanted money, right? It was a simpler time. And now
you knew motives.
Pardon me?
You understood motives back then.
Yeah, the motives are very simple. And now they've gotten so overly complex. I think so many people don't care about Falcon as Captain America that just bringing Steve Rogers back and saying, I'm taking my shield back, I think people would have been fine. Again, you're going to always get, unfortunately, we have unleashed the howling banshees who are very good on social media or overrepresented on social media, let's say, and they're going to complain about everything, right? I mean, even if you go back to the Harry Potter game that they freaked out about.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, that became a massive success and was proof that they really don't have a voice. We just need to ignore them, right? And yeah, but again, Disney is Disney, and I would imagine there would have been a lot of howling lampreys. Can lampreys howl?
We'll let them do it this time. So 10% of the population would actually be unhappy. Maybe. You're exactly right. They're overrepresented. But I'm going to say not 80%, not the full 90, but 80% don't know who Sam Wilson is.
No.
They don't know that name. They just know Steve Rogers is Captain America. And the idea that we're not going to do that and we're not going to make as much money as we can, it's anathema to what Hollywood should be. Make the money.
Point. Yeah, I mean, they should just mind their Falcon business.
We're not going to beat that for the rest of the show today. That's the best pun of the day, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, What do you say, Ron? What's your thoughts on this one? The X-Men going to destroy worlds. You got Steve Rogers coming back as not Captain America. I don't know. Maybe we're being baited, switched. Maybe actually in the next movie he's going to take the shield.
I think I honestly, here's what I think happens. Here's what I think happens because it doesn't make sense if it doesn't happen, and that is that we do see Captain America take the shield. I think that I've seen. It's very clear that they're doing something with this script that they didn't intend when, during 2018, 2019, where they were writing Endgame and such. I feel like, first of all, we should actually see the two Captain Americas fighting side by side, because that would be that moment where he had the moment where he handed off the shield to Sam. And so if there was a moment when they end up fighting side by side as Captain America, it would be an interesting sight to see. Now it's Captain and Captain rather than Captain and Falcon, even though he's really Falcon, but it makes the handoff, right, make more sense. I know it's Falcon crazy, right? But yeah. Well, okay, let me get my point. The point is, what I want to see is that where Captain America was actually operating covertly all those years that he had gone back with Peggy, and that we actually see the fight between him and the Red Guardian that the Red Guardian talked about and bragged about. Remember, Red Guardian bragged about interacting with Captain America in 1984. And I'm like, if he was in that timeline, that could make sense because he went back, and now what the story makes sense. And they wrote that after he had gone back, because the Black Widow was written after Endgame. I don't know. But
I don't want to do homework. I don't want to watch Disney Plus shows. No homework, please. Jonas, this is an interesting theory that's out of the rumors right now. We've got one leak that says that Wolverine and Spider-Man die, and I've said there's no way in the first 5 minutes, unless they want to do Last Jedi 2.0. I mean, that's one way to just wipe out any enthusiasm. The new rumor is that Wolverine and Spider-Man live, and that Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire, are the leading stars of Secret Wars. I don't know about having Shang-Chi and Peggy Carter. Well, we'll do Peggy Carter, but we've said there's going to be a Wolverine Spider-Man team up. That's one way to do it if you want to do the second movie, eh?
Yeah, looking at this, first of all, I also want to point out they're presenting themselves with an opportunity here. If they literally have Captain America next to Captain Falcon and have Captain America say, no, he's Captain America, so that they can emphasize it for an 8th time or something like that, I can see that being something that they actually try to do here, and they try to set up some bizarre racial situation to make it really, really drive a finger in the eye of the audience who's like, no, Captain America is Steve Rogers. Miles Morales is not Captain Falcon, or whatever it is. I think having Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire in the poster is going to sell $100 million worth of tickets. I think that is something that absolutely will happen. And the promise of them returning, obviously everyone thought that Luke Skywalker was in Force Awakens, and everyone knew that Luke Skywalker was in Force Awakens until they saw Last Jedi, and they got confirmation that wasn't really their idea of who Luke Skywalker was. They know that they only have certain things that will definitely bring people in. The rumor is, of course, that Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire will be in the next film. So I think if there's all of this speculation, I think that they can hold on to the audience for longer if there's a promise that Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire will return in the next film. So
if you team them up, it's worth. I think it's worth more than $100 million. So just give the folks what they want. That's what people wanted in Star Wars. It's what just give them what they want. Don't go full fan service, but do the pairings. Do it.
Right. If they die in the first 10 minutes, it will be very stupid of them to not also put them in the teaser, the post-credit teaser, which they better put that post-credit teaser. They'll do the old thing, like on Incredible Hulk, where it's not even a post-credit teaser. It's literally before the credits. They're like, no, we promise Iron Man has something to do with this. The movie that you liked, remember that one when you think about whether or not you're going to see the next movie.
Now, Culture, there's one thing I'm considering right now, and that all of this is nonsense. And I wonder if we're getting a lot of these leaks to drive viewership and clicks and get interest up in the movie, because there has been very little of that. I don't know that I want to go see a film where the X-Men are destroying worlds, but I also don't know that that's really what's happening here. So, Culture, how much credibility should we be putting in these leaks, even if they seem to line up now? Maybe it's just people copying and pasting and making some changes for their own, needs for viewership.
It's weird, but with Marvel leaks, they seem to be the leaks that are most on solid ground when you start to see them in these outlets. And the various places that are reporting them, those are the people who, if they've got a track record that we talk about that here regularly, your track record for leaks. But I have a feeling that this is exactly the kind of stupid that Marvel will feed itself into. So I think we are in the midst of substantial reshoots right now. I think this is week 3, or we're about to enter week 3 of substantial reshoots for this film. We haven't seen the second row of chairs. Remember, we got a whole new row of directors' chairs to suffer through for 5 hours. And I look, they're going to continue to lean in exactly the right amount of dumb, so that they will push a lot of the audience away. So, will they kill off Wolverine? I think it's going to be difficult, considering he's proven to be like somebody who can generate box office. Everything else in Phase Dive was pretty awful.
That is his mutant power, regenerating the box office.
Well, he did with Deadman and Wolverine were Deadpool and Wolverine were what rejuvenated Marvel for a minute. But it's the same thing with Spider-Man. You don't want to kill off Spider-Man. That's a bad plan.
That's the Jewish version. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Hey, Spider-Man.
You don't know. You don't know what neighborhood he grew up in. I'm just saying. And look. When it comes to this, I mean, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and so I'm looking forward to going to a movie this afternoon. I'm not looking forward to the movie, but I'm going to be going to a movie this afternoon called Hoppers that I'm going to review for Friday. And at the same time, I'm hoping that the trailer we've been promised by Sony for Brand New Day is there. It's rumored to be in front of Project Hail Mary, which is another Sony project, but it's also kind of tied to Disney in as much as, it's a Marvel Studios combined with Sony. So we'll see. But I don't have much to go on, and we watched the juggling for positions for the releases of these films. Brand New Day was supposed to it's somehow switched places with this Marvel Avengers Doomsday and all of that, and I'm wondering if that was done purposefully or because they knew they had so much more work to do on Doomsday. But back to the original question, do I put credibility here? More than a little. I think there's a greater than 50% chance that these leaks, a lot of the leaks have been very accurate. And look, a lot of the leaks that came out before we got all those teasers and everything confirmed an awful lot of what we saw in the teasers. And I don't like the direction this movie is going. I'm not going to like the next 3 movies, I'm pretty sure, but I'm still going to go see them.
Let me throw a wrinkle in it. Here's why I'm putting less credibility in the opening of the movie that's been laid out, and I could be wrong, but Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, that situation, if I'm Disney, do I want Deadpool in the movie if I don't have to have him in the movie? When I can wait till the next one to do a big entrance for him if this stuff blows over?
I think Battleworld is a good place to put him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's going to be the intermediary, right?
Well, it's very final. When an X-Men character dies, you know that's the end. They don't bring them back.
Ever.
Professor X will be dying for the 7th time in this movie.
Yeah, Professor X has died multiple times. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine has died multiple times. Death is meaningless, and even more so when you're dealing with a multiverse. So it's almost as if whatever happens on screen matters not at all.
Huh. That's a comic book trope, though.
Yes, of course. I'm joking about the entire industry as opposed to, or the entire genre here, as opposed to whether or not Disney has it within their rights to mess with these characters.
So you're saying that Tony Stark is definitely coming back then?
It would be foolish for them to not bring back Tony Stark. I also think it was foolish for them to not bring back Jarvis in some way when they were doing all of that time skipping around in Endgame. So they did do a Captain America in Infinity War that did not have the shield. I don't think anyone cares about that character. They said after the fact that his name was Nomad. I really don't think that Disney thinks thoroughly about what they're doing here as far as appealing to the audience. I think Chris Evans is enough for them to say, well, he's pretty much Captain America. I think that having Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire in this film is enough to have people go, oh, well, it's kind of like that Deadpool and Wolverine. It's kind of like that Spider-Man No Way Home.
You know one thing that's telling about all these leaks? There's three groups that are almost completely absent from them. One, the Wakandans. Two, the Fantastic Four. And three, Thunderbolts / New Avengers. None of them in here anywhere. Shuri, just that's it. That's all you get on the Wakandans. We know who people want to see because we know which way the leaks are going now.
There's also no young Avengers.
Oh,
like none.
Poor Haley Steinfeld. May her 30-year-old young Avenger self enjoy.
I think they're going to be in there. We're just not seeing it in the promo.
Right. Well, but that means nobody cares about what happens to them. Otherwise, we got to find out what's going down with them. What's going to happen to the Wakandans? Go ahead, Culture.
Well, no, I think that all of these movies and television shows have done nothing but dampen enthusiasm for these replacement characters. I would say that it kind of helped destroy Marvel by cheapening it, but at the same time, these were failed characters in the recent comics, and nobody wants them. They were trying to force feed these into the world to feed Kevin Feige's desire for the feminine frame being featured in everything Marvel. But, again, this is a masculine franchise with a lot of masculine superheroes. And while there is place for ladies there, by just regurgitating, these characters that have failed in the comics is not going to solve the problem, is that they were just piggybacked and introduced in a way that a lot of people widely reject. And I think that's why we saw a lot of failure in Marvel television was these weren't characters we were interested in. We wanted stories from the characters we grew up with.
And I think the Evans thing is easier to fix than people think.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it this way, but you could very well have it set up that Sam was holding on to the shield until Evans came back from whatever time frame he was in and just hands it back to him. With the idea that it was, too big a burden for him. He's happy to be Falcon. We liked him as Falcon. I think Anthony Mackie wants more work. I think that last movie was way too much of a burden on him, even as a human being, as an actor. And the difference between not getting any more work because everyone hates him as Captain America Falcon, just bring him back, give him back the Falcon mantle. I think he'd be very happy to be working as Falcon, and we liked him as Falcon. No one complained about Anthony Mackie's Falcon.
Perfect.
Except for that one speech that he did to the senator, but that's not his fault. That's a writer's fault. So from an audience perspective, I don't think that's going to would have very much repercussions. He gets work. Anthony Mackie could go on the social media saying, all you progressives who are mad that I'm losing the Captain America mantle, I want work. This is my way of getting work. Fuck off. Sorry.
Just call him American Falcon. You said Falcon off. I heard you, Paul. American Falcon. Call him whatever you got to do to get him, so that he upgrades. But that's where we're going, folks. And Anthony, just remember, we like you. We really like you.
Yeah.
We also really like Vash. Welcome aboard, Vash. How you doing, buddy?
Absolutely. We definitely like Falcon, but only as Falcon.
Vash
it's a Falcon good time. Hello
That's
there.
right. Vash, Herbert Yard Dash. Hey, Vash, you've got something coming up today. Tell the folks out there as we get underway What is the celebration, my man?
Absolutely. 8 p.m. Eastern here at Vash Guy Podcast. We're going to be celebrating 1,000 subscribers. So early out the gate. It is absolutely incredible the level of support that we're receiving right there. Hello there, Paul. Good to see you as well. It is going to be a blast. We're going to have a bunch of people on, a bunch of guests on, and it's going to be something for the audience. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you all for supporting Vash Guy Podcast, including everybody on this panel.
8 p.m. Eastern, folks. 8 p.m. Eastern. Get over there and support Vash with his 1K celebration. Jonas, we've got some celebratory signals out there. They're coming to us in the way of super chats. On the screen, please.
Yep, flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. Good day, all. Say, do purple potatoes sizzle? If you cut them up and put them in that fryer there, they'll do pretty good purple potatoes.
If you want to build starch-resistant potatoes, a little time in the refrigerator isn't bad for them. If you freeze bread, you can make bread more tolerable to your system and digestion, and do a little less sugar extraction. In fact, a lot of starches break down in the cold and become more resistant starches, better for your blood sugar.
I don't think you're understanding this question exactly.
Okay.
The request is to get the sizz. Should we give the sizz is the question.
It's time for the winter whizzle. The sizzle has frizzled like a slush puppy. It's time for the winter whizzle. No Pedro and trailers, where can he be? Hey,
Should we expect a springtime whizzle?
Well, the spring spritzel is on the way.
Yeah. The first Dragon Queen for $5. Jonas ready for a leg of a time. Sorry, bad pun. Hugs for all.
Yeah, we're going to give Wilton those legs. Don't worry, folks. They're coming.
Rowan of Strata for $10. Speaking of Gaston, I once worked with the original Broadway Gaston, Burke Moses. What a name. Burke Moses. Sounds like an upstanding individual. Burke Moses. Interesting guy. I owe him for indirectly inspiring me to get out of theater and find my actual calling.
Well, that took a turn I wasn't expecting.
Well, that's the kind of guy Burke Moses is. Mags London for £2. Please no burger talk today. I'm on intermittent fast. You can do it. You can do it.
You and Culture both. And we promise no purple potato conversations, only emojis in the chat.
J-Rocks for $5. Good morning, panel and chat. I want to thank you all for giving me something awesome to watch while I am sick in bed. Cool. Thank you all for everything. Are you watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy? What are you watching?
I'm hoping we're not the cause of you being sick in bed.
I also feel badly about playing Pedro Pascal in the Winter Whizzle now, given that someone was watching for the express purpose of not feeling badly. Bad decision on our parts.
Hawaii Dragon Star for $5. X-Men killing tons of innocents. I guess being a minority allows you to commit atrocities. How can you mess up a group of model minority heroes? I do believe the Mutant Registration Act that precipitated Civil War was things, wasn't it? It wasn't X-Men, though. It was
X-Men. They're trying to stop it. X-Men are always on the good side, right?
No, it was a reality show where some kind of X team was trying to hunt down someone, and they ended up blowing someone up while they were in a school zone, though, unfortunately, and that was what precipitated the original Civil War run.
Jonas, no, that's reports out of. Never mind. That's IRL at the moment. No, that's Miss Rachel.
Weird.
Call sign Bob became a YouTube member at the Pro Silver level.
Hi ho, Bob. Welcome aboard.
Bob was one of my favorite characters in Top Gun Maverick. So,
and if he's a purple potato, he'd be a YouTuber.
It's a tuba.
Stop it.
Snarky.
Get some help.
I'll chat over it.
So, Snarky D for $1. By the way, it's red on the screen. It's blue in the chat. So this is a StreamYard thing. They're coming up red, but it's a poop. It's a little poop emoji.
Oh, well.
and then sends in another $1. It's not a poop. It's a shock emoji.
Poop shock.
Poop and shock. Yep. Septic shock is a serious condition, though. Consult your doctor. Wild and Crazy Bear for $2. Paul, are you still mad at the U.S. U.S. hockey team won?
No, I was never mad because it was a good game and it could have gone either way.
Those are the best kinds.
I think I'm gonna get an update on Burke Moses here from Rowan of Strata for 10. There was only one Captain Falcon. It's not Sam Wilson. Some say his name is Douglas J. Falcon, but no one can say for sure. But you can always see him racing the tracks of Mute City. I think in the lore, he's also a Christian. That's
Falcon Punch.
As well. That's funny. Yeah, he's got those sunglasses that have white eyeballs in the middle of them as well. That's an interesting design conceit from Japanese art. Nathan 7478 for $2 in an awesome avatar. Only Kevin Feige's baseball hat knows the truth.
He cut She-Hulk reference, I believe.
We swore we would never make a She-Hulk reference again on this show. Nathan, what are you doing to us, buddy? You're lucky that avatar is so sharp.
You remember when they put Overlord DVD in the show? That was pretty funny.
Yep.
Yep. Kalioth for $5 to resolve Marvel. Doom travels back, prevents Thanos' snap, and saves the universe. Several phases reset and checks may be sent to you. Care of P.O. Box 1122 Walla Walla.
The main concern is, are we going to be interested in these gigantic galaxy level problems?
Probably not.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of buildup to this. I mean, the buildup they tried to generate with the Fantastic Boar didn't land well with the audience. It didn't, generate a lot of revenue, and nobody was really engaged with any of that idea. So I feel like Marvel's let itself down over the course of 3 entire phases. I think the culmination of that is aptly named Doomsday.
Yep. The other Avengers movies had lead-ins. People were excited to see how the stories were wrapped up. In this case, they got to start at the starting block. Everything has to start off new stories because nobody cared about the last thing, so they're coming in fresh. And that's why I think we're gonna have to spend 3 films to make this thing work, because we got to have a full narrative, beginning, middle, and end, without all those lead-ins.
Yeah. Snarky D coming in with another super sticker. This one is the crazy eyes emoji, as if disoriented. Well,
poop shock loco eyes. Okay,
I'm seeing that. And then a hippo with the word wrecked
for $10, and now it's teal. What's going on here?
I hope you're okay there.
Maybe it's not a poop emoji; it's a bump stock.
I hope that your poop there is not wrecked. That would be tragic.
For those of you who drive trucker or trailers, know what a bump stock is.
Oh, that's a different term in the States. Because we're allowed to carry around firearms. Totally different term.
Yeah.
Culture, did you? Excuse me, Jonas. Did you tell me this is a hippo sticker though?
It is a hippo. Yes, that is in a chair, and then the chair falls over and is wrecked. R-E-K.
Lovely.
Yep. Elbird for $5. Bucky should have been Cap since the Winter Soldier had a bad history. Falcon could have been his own hero.
Could have been.
He was his own hero. This is the problem that I have with this. It's like growing up as a kid, my favorite adventures were the one with Captain America and the Falcon combined. And I was a huge fan of them working together. That was when they were at their best. And so by eliminating Cap, you took away like his partner in crime fighting. So it's frustrating to me.
Yep. That's right. And Andy Masterson would like for you to check a private message, Pro. So
okay, well, we'll get to that in just a second. Folks, we got to move to the next story here in just a few. But before we do, Paul, tell everybody out there where they can find you and what you're up to these days on the interwebs.
Oh, are you kicking me off?
No, I'm buying myself time to read what the heck Andy has sent me.
Well, you can find me on Call Me Chatto for entertainment news and views. And you can see me on Appalling News, spelled APAULING, news for more controversial, interesting, fun stuff. And I do my Walter Cronkite impression during that. It's the only way I can keep a straight face because it's hard not to laugh at the silly things I've got to say. So that's where you can find me. Thanks.
Very appalling. Very appalling. Hey, this is what Andy has sent our way, folks. If you'd like to take a look at it, it's not my idea, Sam. The government says we have to have more minority members, and if you don't join, the Avengers priority privileges will be suspended.
Oh, man, that's a bridge too far.
A bridge too... Well, culture. See, look at you. Recovering well, sir. Recovering well. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
The right cut line is our executives won't get their bonuses.
Oh, that's a Bob Igerism there.
Yeah.
All right, folks, let's get to it because we've got the comeback tour of Rachel Zegler underway, and we've got lots to say about that one. It's resuscitation time in Isle Zegler, and here she is, Rach. She's bringing the Rach back. Comicbookmovie.com a long time ago was telling us that they were eyeballing a way to get her into musicals from Disney to try to revivify her career. A new young adult adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera is in development for the Disney streaming service, and Snow White star Rachel Zegler is rumored to be in line to star as Christine. We think this got canceled after the Snow White situation. Not a surprise, eh? But things are still underway. And now, in the modern era, The Hollywood Reporter is saying that Rachel Zegler is in line to get an award. Where's she going to get an award after she got kicked out of Hollyweird? Well, over in the UK, Rachel Zegler, Kate Blanchett, and Bryan Cranston land nominations for UK's... Do I pronounce this Olivier? Are these the Olivier Awards, guys? Everybody knows here. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it would be. It was sure. Lawrence Olivier.
Yeah, Olivier Awards, right? Yeah, sure.
They're so important, nobody talks about them.
Well, you know, it's England, so you would expect it to be the Oliver Awards, but it's not. It's the Olivier, because, you know, even there they like the Frenchies.
Someone with Tourette's attends.
Yeah, BAFTA me, please. Britain's equivalent to the Tony Awards unveiled the full list of nominees, which may or may not include a certain marmalade-loving bear. Paddington will be there. You know he will be. Rachel Zegler, Bryan Cranston, Tom Hiddleston, and Kate Blanchett are among the Hollywood stars who have scored Olivier Award nominations. The UK equivalent to the Tony Awards, celebrating the best and brightest talent leading the country's colorful theater scene, will crown its winners at a ceremony on April 12, 2026, broadcast by the BBC and hosted by the Traitors and Ted Lasso star Nick Mohammed. Snow White actress, she loves when you reference that. Snow White actress, she loves it so much. Snow White actress Zegler was recognized for her viral turn in Jamie Lloyd's Evita, playing Argentinian First Lady Eva Perón. She stirred the city by performing live to passerbys on the London Palladium balcony every night. Blanchett has scored an Olivier Award nod for The Seagull, and Rosamund Pike is also nominated in the Best Actress category for Inter Alia. All right, so Zegler is she's up for an award, and she's got some competition. Let's go down here and we'll find it for you, okay? She is in for not Best Actress. No, where is she? Where is she? Best Actress in a Musical. She's going up against Katie Braben, Into the Woods, Danielle Fiamagna, and Georgina Onora for Brigadoon, Jane Krakowski, Here We Are, Jenna Russell, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, and Rachel Zegler in Evita. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a plan in place to get Rachel Zegler back into Hollywood. And the only way they seem able to do so is through musicals, because I know culture will disagree, but she can sing. Now, she's attached right now to a comedy that has no distributor, so that's not going so well. But a musical, maybe. And folks, here's where we're going with this. Guess what? We are now hearing that she is going to possibly be cast in a musical for The Portrait of Dorian Gray, starring with Austin Butler. Now, this goes in the rumor and scoops category, so take it with a grain of salt. But this might be the way that Rachel Zegler gets back into the Hollywood halls of Hollyweird with The Picture of Dorian Gray, and we're hearing that she is being potentially signed on to play Sybil Vane, who is a young actress, love interest, whatever, of Dorian that would be played by Austin Butler.
I thought she might be playing the late stages of The Portrait.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? So
mean.
Rachel Zegler with Austin, that might work out with Austin Butler. I mean, he's a hot star, right? Can they revivify Rachel Zegler? Paul, I go to you. Why would they even want to at this point? Why not find somebody new? I don't want to be mean to her, but maybe the time passed.
This is a mystery, except for the fact that people in the know, and I use that in quotes. Maybe she's got a following on social media that is such that it compels producers to keep searching her out. I mean, has anyone here checked just what her social media following is?
She has some following, but she's also went rather silent as of late on social media, right. Which I think is a great idea for her, honestly, if she's going to do a sort of a career resurrection. I think, I don't want to get ahead of our skis too much and claim that we've scooped this, but if she wins this award over in England, and then they pair that up with the announcement that she's going to be in Guillermo del Toro's next film, starring with Austin Butler, then, that's a nice little play for her. But she's still going to be coming from A-list celebrity that she was for all of a year to barely scraping by to get anything in Hollywood. So,
well, there's two factors here that we're ignoring. Is that for sure she would have had to audition for those roles. Okay, so she doesn't have the status to just walk in and get a role. If someone like Guillermo del Toro wants her in a production, then she would have auditioned, and he must have been impressed by her work and the fact that she's now popping up on things, notwithstanding her reputation, which they should take into consideration. Obviously, she's been hitting it out of the ballpark in the rehearsals. I mean, in the auditions.
Absolutely.
Terrible in that one superhero movie, the second edition of Shazam.
She did not play well, Paul, in Hunger Games. It was the lowest performing of the franchise. She didn't do so well in Snow White, I would say, although she gave it her best, but it was a doomed movie from the start. But she also has put her co-stars in danger with some of her comments. So I don't know why they have any kind of affinity at all for her. I don't know why they would want to bring her back, but maybe you're right. Maybe she's just killing it. Vash, one of the things that seemed to have killed a lot of her movement, though, in the theater in the UK was when her understudy actually outshone her in that moment when Zegler could not continue to perform. And the understudy got a standing applause, and nobody could stand down on it. They were so excited for how well she had performed. And then Zegler was not too pleased, I would say.
Yeah, I remember that story, and I do remember that she wasn't too pleased, because you got to think, it's all about her. She's a self-admitted narcissist, I do believe. I know she may have been saying that in passing as a joke or something, but I think there's a little glimmer of truth there. It's kind of sad that Snow White did as bad as it did, because it kind of undercut all the cachet of Mark Platt, who, you remember, flew down and tried to convince her, please take these social media posts down right before this movie comes out. We need hundreds of millions of dollars even to make our money back. And we know what happened there. But Mark Platt might have had a little bit more cachet had that movie done maybe even just a little bit better and said, hey, you'll never work in this town again. And maybe that would have actually worked. Instead, it looks like we're going to be saddled with Rachel Zegler for the foreseeable future. And that's, I want everybody to do well. There's no question about that. But Rachel Zegler strikes me as somebody who maybe doesn't want everybody around her to do well. If you can catch my meaning.
Yeah, I'm with you. So is there any reason to bring back Zegler at this point? Or, does she bring anything to the table that's extra that is beyond any other actress they could find? I just don't.
She's recently won a Razzie.
Yeah, I would say from a business standpoint, she's probably not a good person to work with. From an ideological standpoint, she's everything that they want. She's young. She has a social media following. She's very clearly socialist. She's very clearly anti-Zionist. She's ideologically everything that Hollywood would hope for, and if they can make it happen, then they have a lot of their own little personal quirks confirmed through whatever success that she gets.
I hate to push back on that, Jonas. I'm just because you're right. I mean, there's a certain group of people she fits in with in Hollywood, but I think the studios have recognized, and as they're being acquired by others, also recognize that that's not the most popular opinion to have if you want to do business as a studio. So I think a lot of these people that are so politically aligned that it basically is a defining element of their character, that maybe, just maybe, the shift is enough to keep people like Zegler, kind of nuclear waste at this point?
I think if we're talking a $150 million movie, $200 million movie, yes, they would stay away from Rachel Zegler. I think if they're talking a Guillermo del Toro movie that will be mostly for consideration in award season, I think the case there is a little bit more clear as to why you would incorporate someone like this. I don't think she's completely done in Hollywood. I think she's done being profitable in and of herself. She's proven that she's not a draw. But I think that these are people that have shown that they are sure that, Hoppers has heavy environmental messages right now. And Michael Moore still continues to make documentaries that are wildly propagandistic. So there are movies you make for money, and then there are movies you make because you really want to feel good about yourself by making other people feel bad. And I think that Rachel Zegler is the perfect actress for sticking a finger in the eye of the part of America that you're trying to teach a lesson to.
And maybe she doesn't
go
cost the studios that much anymore. I mean, she certainly didn't elevate her value. She got paid $2 million for Snow White. Gal Gadot got paid $15 million, and certainly Rachel Zegler lowered her value after that movie. So maybe maybe that's why she's in consideration. We don't know about her agent, her management, and all of those types of things, the people that do all the negotiations. If she can be brought in for far less money than somebody else, that's, can be helpful to a studio's bottom line, especially, like you said, if it's not a, $100 million budget film, if it's a $5, $10, $50 million budget film, but when I see Rachel, I think that if she keeps her mouth shut when she's not acting, and maybe you just take pictures of her and that works out, then it's fine. But she just, I don't think that she has the talent level to compete with a lot of the great Hollywood actresses. When you see her on screen, everything that I've seen her in is just kind of a letdown. She's just sort of I think Paul said the Shazam movie that she was in. It was like, why she lowered the quality of the film by being in it.
Yeah. Right. Now, I know that a lot of people are debating whether or not these stories are true and what musicals she might be attached to. Whether or not she lands in this film, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, whether or not that's a mislead, or whether or not the stories about Disney and the Phantom of the Opera in 2025, what we need to figure out here is, what way does Rachel Zegler have to get back in Hollywood? And the only way that I see is through the musicals. This comedy thing doesn't even have a distributor yet, and she's struggling. Can she fulfill the promise she made? Can Rachel Zegler feed America on the narcissism that she displayed right here? I'll play it one more time just so everybody remembers where Zegler was, where she believes she should be, and can she crawl back to it? We'll see.
The winged victory came to the Louvre.
And it's got audio behind it, folks. We'll have to cancel that one. We'll put it up in a second. I'll get the other one. Hang tight. But Zegler, of course, has high aspirations for herself. She has high thoughts about herself. Here we go. Here's the right one. Put it back up on the screen. Here we go, professional show. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Everyone who hates when I win. The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Culture, you're waiting in line to see the comeback of the century, right?
After, suffering many of her movies, I'm gonna enjoy the dearth of opportunity that she's going to be served.
Nothing like a good old pile of dearth, Culture. Good old pile.
Yep, she has a surfeit of dearth.
I just feel like that has to be a monologue that she's doing for an audition that she still needs to workshop. It's so bad.
So bad.
You didn't feel it was true. You didn't get the feeling of
it really
authenticity.
feels like I saw that monologue many times in many forms when I was in high school in the drama club. You know, that if that's where her acting skill level is right now, that ain't it, you know?
That's why we're wondering, why do they want to bring her back? And folks, it may not be this one, it may not be the next one, but the effort is get her in a musical somewhere, somehow. And we'll all go to see Zegler again, I guess, even though that never happened before. Ron, I think I accidentally cut you off, or was it Paul? Who did I cut off?
I would have believed it more if she had done the I'm good enough, I'm strong enough,
Stunning and brave.
People like me.
People, yeah.
At least she wasn't. At least she wasn't in black and white. Singing. The Imagine song, or all the other horrors we suffered in 2020. Yeah.
That was Gal.
As a performer, you will find all these kinds of people in Hollywood. Ooh, I'm stuck here. But
you're not stuck with us. You're good.
Oh, you'll find all these types in Hollywood. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of ego, and there's some people with overblown egos, and some people who are quite modest about their success. The range is all there. You have to have a lot of confidence in yourself, because a lot of your life actually is you're failing. I don't mean failure from the perspective of failed projects. I mean, you don't get roles you audition for. There are projects which sounded good on paper and then fail. You've got things like Snow White, which looked bad right from the get-go, but you believe in it regardless. So it's a tough business.
Tough indeed. Jonas, let's see what the folks out there have to say.
All right. Thinking Heretic for $2 for Culture Casino. I tried purple potatoes and I am a fan. Are you sure?
Culture, I'm not going to stop you this time. I'm not going to stop you. This is your time, Culture. Go for it.
They are absolutely delicious. They are very easy to grow. You should grow them in layered planters, and you should get the biggest harvest you can as often as you can. This is the time of year to start if you haven't already. I had an amazing harvest because of the climate that I live in, and because I basically grow potatoes year round in the greenhouse. So, but they're delicious. They're very good for you. Their starch has less impact on your volatility of your blood sugar and everything else.
Culture, is it true they have the same phytonutrient makeout as blueberries?
Well, they contribute substantially to the growth of cellular level things you want, like foundation cells. So
you're saying that purple potatoes will rejuvenate your stem cells and make you 20 years younger? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it does helps regenerate. It's a building block to help regenerate your stem cells.
And Culture, where can people get those fancy purple potato seeds tomorrow?
Well, you can actually go to your local hardware store that actually has access to this, or any nursery, plant nursery, or even
go
big
to
box
Bob's Hardware. Ask them where the purple potatoes.
Yeah. Hey, look, if they sell any kind of plant at the places you go, look, you can even get them at the grocery store. Believe it or not,
freelance plants in the parking lot from the guy.
Yeah, just clean them very well. Clean them very well.
Violet spuds.
And then
Purple potatoes, fried green tomatoes, arugula. Hey, what's up?
when injustice strikes, I strike back.
Culture Casino. Let's go. Culture Casino. Let's go. When the EMS tries their best, strap him down, check his chest. Culture Casino. Casino. Culture Casino. Casino. Culture Casino.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh my God.
That's
I
right.
loved it. That was good.
Just a typical day around here.
Purple potatoes offer good stock advice, but don't watch it.
Don't take advice from us, from the Purple Spuds. Absolutely.
Yep. Irate specialist for $2. Legathon, make sure Wilton gets what he deserves.
Oh, he's gonna get what he deserves.
I don't think we can give him what he deserves on stream and still say monetized.
No, but he's getting
legs for $2. Does he deserve us though?
Look at those little tufted ankles.
Look at that. That's yep. Kaylee 5, even as a terrible idea, who thinks Rachel Ziegler is worth throwing more money into Snow White after the swollen ego syndrome she caused them?
Listen, she made us a lot of money. She made a lot of YouTubers a lot of money. I am in favor of Snow White too.
That's funny.
I've got a poster of Snow White in my office because of how much of my life was funded by covering that disaster. Alexander Fort for $5. How long until the Russo brothers are just known as the Russos?
I don't know. I hear that Bros is in right now. Peace Guy Bros is going to be a thing, so maybe that's the way to go.
I like pesky Bros.
Or they go the way of the Wachowskis.
That's a different kind of way.
That's well, I mean, their careers fell off before they decided to get super weird, but I think the Russos they could be entering a downward spiral. I don't have high hopes for these next 3 films, so
I think the Wachowskis are proof that women can't direct movies.
Metalcore breakdown for 2. The Poison Apple Award goes to Wired.
That's not that. It's not.
Weird.
It's weird, Jonas. It's weird.
It is
not
weird.
wired. Sometimes the I does go before the E.
Packing Protons for $5. Dear Paul, I thought fake TV series Lift was a comedic winner. We'll try to do better. Have you heard my Jonas's Black song? I sent that to my wife, by the way. She played it for my daughter. She's like, "What is this, Dad?"
Yeah, the Lift gag was missing something. I can't, it was almost too on the nose. And the fact the device, the Lift device, was going way too fast on the street. I think part of the joke is that it's got to go unbelievably slowly from one location to another. Forklift.
Right. That's the Austin Powers steamroller gag.
Pardon me?
That's the Austin Powers steamroller gag.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the joke for Lift, is that wherever he's going, it takes him forever to get there.
Yep. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for $5. I can't imagine why Rachel has not yet been cast for the 2nd season of The Acolyte.
Brilliant idea.
Synergy.
That would new twins right there.
Right.
Packing Protons for $2. Check out the Purple Potato Power song.
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliantly done.
Paul Eater Gamer for $5. It's ironic Doom is literally trying to save the multiverse after Kang ruined it in real life. Now, had Disney been smart, they could have built hype off of that. It's great. And now the Daily Wire can pick up every person who's ever been fired for any reason, good or bad, from Hollywood. I guess
I'm pretty sure that's the strategy. Did they get let go by Disney? Have they not been hired recently? Daily Wire. Here we go.
The Daily Wire should call it Detritus Studio.
It's an interesting thing.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it, Paul?
It's amazing I got it off without fumbling that.
And is going to be over here in the ring with Ronda Rousey. Maybe Jonathan Majors can do a similar matchup.
Yeah. The thing I don't like about it is that Gina was completely 100% the victim of that situation, and she was brought in to Daily Wire, and I don't know that I like the way everything was handled. I think she should have gotten more support there. But the way that the Jonathan Majors announcement was made is kind of parallel to Gina, and I don't think the situation is parallel to Gina. And so that's what bothers me is I don't want to make that association because I don't think these are the same circumstances whatsoever.
I agree with you.
Yep.
Jonas, one more super chat, sir, and then we got to talk about something big happening right now.
All right, the first Dragon Queen for $5. I granted you permission, Pro, to use Culture's Enemy. I'm too lazy to switch icons today.
Evil Sesame Seed Man. Yes.
Oh, I thought it was the police.
What did you just say? Fleet enemy?
Jonas.
I granted you permission to use Culture's enemy. I'm too lazy to switch icons today.
Which Culture's enemy is Evil Sesame Seed Man, right?
Well, I thought it was the Popo and the EMTs.
No. They're below him at this point.
No, and again, I am very anti seed oil of any kind, or I vegetable oil to me is not great. And again, I'm not giving you health advice. I'm just giving you my opinion.
He's an anti-seed medic person. Yes.
All right, folks, take a look at this. Star Trek is in a not great place right now. It's been put on ice by Paramount. So for those of you who have been saying, pounce on this thing, enough of it, we've had Kurtzman era needs to end, maybe the beginning of that is underway. From Nerdist by Eric Diaz, a decade of continuous Star Trek TV production has ended. This year marks the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, one of the most beloved and enduring franchises in TV history. Although it's taken TV hiatuses before, it appears we may enter another one soon. Although Starfleet Academy is running this year, as is Strange New Worlds, both have already wrapped production, the latter for good. And according to a report from Trek Movie, this signals the first time since 2016, aka a decade, that a Star Trek series is not in any form of production, pre-production, or even greenlit. Strange New Worlds, already shot fifth season, officially marks the end of that series, and the fate of Starfleet Academy after season 2 is very up in the air. Could this be the end of modern Star Trek on Paramount Plus? Paul, we've got lots of controversies with Paramount and people saying, well, this is the proof that Paramount doesn't care, and then buying Warner Brothers is going to be a disaster because Star Trek has been handled so poorly. But it looks like that might be coming to an end. It looks like the Kurtzman era might not be such a friend to the Ellisons. What do you think, Paul? Is it time to call this off, take 2 or 3 years and restart? Or what should they do with Star Trek to fix things, considering how badly, maybe worse than Star Wars even, all of this has been broken?
Well, notwithstanding the fact that people talk about it not having an audience, this new Kurtzman Trek actually has developed a weird audience. Mostly people with facial piercings. But I'm also thinking, anything new, do you abandon that group of people? I mean, that group, those people do exist now. And if you read their comments in the socials, you'll see that they're quite passionate about what they're seeing in Star Trek Academy. Now, every empirical metric indicates that it's a wretched show. We can complain all we want that it's not Star Trek, but that's a tired discussion also. How many times can we keep saying it's not Star Trek? I mean, I think that's a fact. Now, if there's going to be a new Star Trek, I don't understand the comment about Paramount not being involved. They would have to be involved. They don't. It's their property. But I can tell you, behind the scenes, they are talking about, like, what is it that we need to do to resurrect this? The thing that I would love if they would do it is that, even though season 2 of Starfleet Academy is in the can, if they announce that they were not going to show it and they're just going to kill it and take the tax write-off.
That's what I was going to ask. Should they Batgirl this thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think now there's way more money attached to season 2 of Starfleet Academy than just the one single Batgirl movie, right? I mean, we're talking about an insane budget. And they have the numbers and the spreadsheets, which we don't have. So if they're going to play it off, then they must know financially, plus or negative, just what the value of the product is. Purely from a fan point of view, what a signal that would give that we're canning season 2.
Are you going to make an appearance at any point in season 2? There's some rumor out there, Paul, that you might go for it.
That's my new role.
He'll be playing the sofa, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be playing the chair.
The sofa. Yes, yeah.
Hang on to her, okay? She really struggles with the gravity. Culture, what are your thoughts on Star Trek, where it is, and is it worse than Star Wars right now? Like, what are they going to do to redeem this thing?
Look, I'm going to say that one of the worst follow-up ideas ever is Starfleet Academy. And I think that you don't want to be that chair, Paul, because it's going to be very filthy dirty every single day with her feet all over it. I will say that there's not much future here with its current leadership and direction. I think Paul's 100% correct on that. I think the costs account for a significant amount of budget. If you did Batwoman, Batgirl, whatever it was going to be, this thing. There would be major benefits here. First of all, you wouldn't subject the audience to more filth, and programming that perhaps is a giant turnoff for whatever exists of the audience. Still, I think you need to start out with some kind of project that rebuilds faith. And I think they need to go out and get somebody who really knows what they're talking about when it comes to Star Trek. And RMB comes to mind, and many others. So,
is it fair to say that in Kurtzman's Star Trek, they never invented the GLP-1 medications?
you can activate your own GLP in your body if you eat properly. But we'll have a discussion another time.
Purple potatoes, we know. No. Hey, Ron, when it comes to Star Trek, which one's worse, it or Star Wars at this moment? Unmutify, Ron. There you go.
Yeah, no, this is hard for me to say because I'm not really a Star Trek fan. I'm not watching any of this.
What's wrong with you, Ron? What are you doing over there?
All I can say, Leonard Nimoy is no more with us, correct? Is he? Yeah. So I feel bad that he's not, because I would love for him to do an episode of In Search of, a decent script for Star Trek. He was the host of all those In Search of programs back in the day, and I loved his voice, by the way. Leonard Nimoy, when I did watch Star Trek, it was when Leonard Nimoy was in the cast. And those days, I think, were fabulous. The Star Trek movies, like I was never interested in Star Trek as far as the TV show, and then the movies came out, and I really like The Wrath of Khan and that set of Star Trek movies. I really, really enjoyed. The William Shatner, yeah. I won't watch Star Trek in this iteration because it just, from what I've seen, the little glimpses that I've seen, it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't even feel like it's related to me when I see the snippets of what Star Trek once was. I think that Star Trek and Star Wars both have been put in really bad places by modern writers who think that they are writing for a modern audience that, at least in vast swaths of numbers, does not exist. Yes, I believe that there is a tiny fraction of the audience who probably just really eats this kind of stuff up. And that tiny fraction happens to be very loud and very present on social media. I just don't think that general audiences are enjoying any of this. And as somebody who has enjoyed so much in the past, I just wish they would go back to storytelling of, generally speaking, good versus evil, and not try to insert bizarro world ideologies into everything, or as culture would say, postmodern neo-Marxism.
What's interesting is actually Star Trek was pretty good at not necessarily going for the moral in all of this stuff. They usually put some great question in there, and I get the feeling the problem of modern Trek is they're trying to have 100% clear morality, because there's a great question of what if that gets told in good science fiction, and that's not what they're doing now. They're telling very clear morality plays and bizarre teen romances here that don't relate to the audience. So whoever's showing up for actual science fiction, they're not getting it here. So
Vash, I love the comment down here. That's why I've got it up on the screen, besides the fact that we've got the guy in the wedding gown. Jeffrey says, nobody's making Star Trek fan films with AI. That's how you know the franchise is dead.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think the franchise is in a bad place, but not for the reasons that you think.
Walk us through, Vash. What do you got? Give us the avant-garde.
Yeah, because I think the question was, whether this franchise is worse off than Star Wars. At least Star Wars, though, kind of everybody who might have been a fan of the sequel trilogy kind of now has come around to the idea that maybe that wasn't the strongest effort that Disney could have possibly made, and obviously not capitalizing on the restoration of the cast and having them all together and group up and everything like that. There are a lot of problems and flaws that people have come to acknowledge when it comes to somehow Palpatine returned. Versus this, I think there really is a bifurcation of the audience now, because when Starfleet Academy first came out, critically it was praised pretty highly, and there were some audience members who said, "Oh, this is fresh, this is new, this is bold, this is exactly the direction that Star Trek needs to go in." I know it's hard to believe that there might be some out there with that belief system, but I mean, I'm talking to my own brother who is a hardcore Star Trek fan. He has said to me in the past, it's like, hey, since Star Trek Discovery, they've added hours of content. This is awesome. This is great. So some people who are in love with watching this franchise view it as, it might not be as good as the original stuff, but at least we're getting something. This bifurcation of the audience, where you have a distinct group who's like, oh, this is great, this is awesome, and another group that goes, this is awful. Now how do you placate both of those? How do you go forward? Do you acknowledge this stuff and what Kurtzman's done? Do you go in a completely separate direction and leave out those fans that might have come on board recently? See, that kind of bifurcation right there, I think, is where the real conflict is. Versus Star Wars, you can kind of go in a new direction with Star Wars, maybe not even acknowledge the sequel trilogy, depending on where you place that content in the timeline, and be okay. So that's kind of where I see this.
See, I actually, and maybe there's an interesting conversation here, I actually think it's the opposite. So the reason I think it's the opposite is because with Star Wars, you're stuck with the sequel trilogy that's canon, that's a part of this entire Skywalker saga. And until it goes away, you've kind of screwed up everything. Star Trek, I feel like you can get away from this stuff that's happened and be like, you know what, we're going to go to this other place and this other time and just avoid all that. But I don't know how you do that with Star Wars because of how badly people hate what was done to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, Star Wars, man, that's really, really tough. I think there are places within the timeline that you can go. And I think Lauren could back me up here. But that's the problem is, if you release something modern day Star Trek, whether it be a movie or a TV show or something like that, you're going to have a contingent of fans out there. I don't know how big they are. I mean, I think the chat is like, hey, they don't make up a large portion of the audience. That might be true. But that might be the only fans that Star Trek has to build on. So do you placate those fans, these new oncomers, or do you go into a radically different direction, trying to get the old fans back? See, that's the problem there. Versus Star Wars, I think with new leadership now, and maybe placing something that's separated from those core characters that we all know and love, I think you can maybe get around that a little bit easier, at least from my vantage point. But I might be wrong.
No. Listen, I think
there's a few things you've brought up. In no particular order, I think Star Wars has a bigger problem than Star Trek. Number one, because it is 100% fantasy, and you're making too much to make up in vision. Whereas Star Trek is actually always rooted in things that we're doing now, but in the future. So we have more things to connect with. So Starfleet Academy, if it was done like the Paper Chase, and we knew who the teachers were, and we had young teachers, old teachers, we had conflict even between the teachers, where the container was properly made, it wouldn't really matter who the students are. They flipped it around the wrong way. They needed to create the proper, like the medical show, The Good Doctor, something like that, where you knew what the container was, and is Starfleet shiny and new, or is it kind of the Oxford where it's steeped in way too much past? We know about the burn and all that bullshit. I mean, that's nonsense. I would get rid of all of that. But there's such an opportunity with Starfleet Academy that they just completely ignored because it has no structure. It's not an institution. They just went off and do things that you would never do in first year. Like, what's the first year, the second year? What are the different subjects? There's no engineering department. There's no, we don't have I mean, if it was set up like a real school, you would have had, and then envision what it would be like in the future. Then it would have its possibilities, and I think that could be done again with something else in Star Trek. But that can't be done in Star Wars. You need a brilliant writer to be able to constantly envision how the landscape changes. And one of the things that I talk about that George Lucas did, and whether you like the prequels or not, and I don't know whether he did it on purpose, but every single movie had a new planet. Every single movie had new aliens.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's marketing opportunities that build on each other as well.
Yes, and there's no marketing opportunities in Star Trek for that matter. If I went in to run Star Trek, one of the first things I would do is make it toyetic.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, think about what ground they created when they put the Borg into TNG. Yeah. Right. And I've got a question though. So are you suggesting that Starfleet Academy should have been like turned into a proper procedural? I mean, like so something like House maybe, or obviously not medically focused, but
paper chase. I mean, you've got people going through potential for failure. What are the score? Like there's no consequences for anything. Plus, these first yearers are now flying around in Starfleet vessels and attacking aliens and things like that. I mean, I'm not giving kindergartners scissors. Like, there's stages that you need to go through in school, which could have been part of the show, because that's one of the things that the people that they're assuming to be trying to be attracted to are students and people who have just finished school. So if the show felt more like school, then ironically they would actually have more of an attachment to the damn thing. It's crazy.
Batgirl it, Paul? Yay or nay?
I would Batgirl it.
Batgirl, Star Trek, right now. All right, Jonas, we shall not Batgirl the super chats. What do our superstars have to say?
Well, Anthony says for 20 Danish kroner, Vash, congrats on 1K onwards/upwards.
Vash, tell them again, please. Where can they find you tonight, and what is the big celebration going to be?
It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern over there on Vash Sky Parkcast. We are celebrating 1,000 subscribers. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely amazing. It's all thanks because of you guys who have gotten us to this point right here, and it's really the culmination of a big dream I've had. So this is absolutely incredible. And well, how do we celebrate something like this so tremendous? Well, we had to bring in everybody. So we're gonna have a lot of people coming in and out, and it should be a whole lot of fun for the audience, and going over all the friends we made along the way.
And Vash, very speedy achievement. Let's see, how long have you been putting content out on the channel?
About 30 days-ish or so, about a month.
Wow.
30 days and already 1K. That's quite impressive. So, folks, get over there at 8 p.m. tonight to the Vash cast and enjoy. It's going to be a great time.
First Dragon Queen for $2. Culture loves oil. Soon we will get culture.
I'm telling you right now, I stay away from everything but single source olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I enjoy avocado oil, and that's kind of it as far as oils go. Otherwise, it's beef tallow and ghee. Good. Beef tallow and ghee, which is pure.
You're not butter. Into seed-based lube.
I did do and say horrible, regrettable things.
You have your finger on the button every time I speak.
Paul, I know where you're going, and I'm ready to do it.
Look, seed oils are bad.
Yeah. And he also buys all of his cars at police auction. Sean, formerly artist John Cusack, for $5. It's so simple. Before he goes, Paramount needs to get Shatner to do director's cut of Star Trek V with CGI rock creatures and new effects, cheap and easy. What does God need with a starship? What
coming out with a new metal album, by the way.
Yeah, didn't he just perform and It's insane. How old is he? How old is Shatner now?
It's well over 90.
Yeah. I'll say, for those of you who haven't listened to it, Has Been is actually a really great album. It's, you're not going to rock out to most of it. There's one that's really good where he covers, what is it called? Common People. But it's actually a really interesting listen.
I'm starting to think that Shatner bathes in formaldehyde. Like, I don't know. I mean, Clint Eastwood I was impressed with, and even he, is starting to look a little older. But Shatner is, man, he's preserved. He's
all
pickled.
that raisin bran he eats on the roads of Toronto.
Well, and he got to be a spaceman in real life. So there you go.
He's a rocket man. Let's see here. Donald DJ Skywalker. For 5, they do hiatus, and the fans that can shepherd new ones in will be in nursing homes. Just end Kelvin timeline and put new show or movie into production. So whatever they're doing right now is not Kelvin timeline, if I understand that correctly, because Lower Decks is supposed to take place in the Prime timeline, and they that takes place in the same as Next Generation, and they switched over to whatever this weird new Trek timeline is at some point. But also, who cares? Just burn it all down, except for the good stuff, right?
Yep.
I think
still
you need to put it into the Home Alone Kevin timeline.
The Kevin.
Look, I still believe that if you hand this over to Vic Mignogna and his team, who did Star Trek Continues, they could give us authentic Trek.
Hey, Jonas, did we read this when we put it up on the screen? Did we accidentally go past it?
Did I? I went past it, didn't I? Pack of Protons for $5 American. Star Wars has more lore to go with. Find the right people, get it out of Disney. It's fine. Star Trek has the 24th century. That's it.
The other problem for Star Trek is that the 24th century is starting to look a whole lot like our century, minus the spaceships. All this AI stuff and the other things that are coming forth. We're starting to go a little bit more Star Trek than I think many people anticipated.
That's the challenge with Star Trek, is that if you put something too far in advance and you're not seeing something extraordinary and magical from a technical perspective, then you're not going to believe it. Plus, they threw in all sorts of present day-isms, which was terrible. You watch Babylon 5, they've got vernacular for all sorts of different things, even when you hit your finger. And so there's nothing they did that was right. The parade of morons who have made the recent Star Trek is just, I don't know. I mean, it's absolutely indescribable.
How it made it that many layers up into actually coming out that way.
If we're in the midst of the singularity, which has been suggested by the big brains like Elon Musk and others, and we're going to end up with human level intelligence, if not better than human level intelligence, coming out of AI, you need to be looking way beyond our concept, our simple conceptions, which is why TNG worked, because it got so far ahead that the manner of being on the starships was not confined to the timeliness of the particular era it was produced, as you were suggesting they're doing now. In fact, a lot of the ways that we look at DEI or bridge or whatever it is, I think would be regressive to the people in the future, right? I mean, naturally.
Well, let's hope so. Otherwise, we're in big trouble if AI goes woke and stays woke.
Well, but we would have to, if as science fiction fans, we would have to extrapolate what it is that we're living with now into the future. I mean, that's one of the first things that if you were sitting down and doing a proper Star Trek show, which actually was involved in science and had NASA scientists involved, even Babylon 5 had a NASA mathematicians trying to figure out just how the spaceships would veer around in space and how they would fly through space. I mean, it's one of the stupid things about New Trek is that a vessel the size of the Enterprise, or bigger actually, had no not momentum. Had no inertia. It was this massive thing that just sort of zipped around and did whatever it wanted. Now, even in the weightlessness of space, you would still have to deal with the fact that it's a very heavy
physics.
Vessel.
Yeah.
Right. That's why
that's gone, because Kurtzman Trek has no interest in physics. Like physics,
right. Science is out.
Okay, But even the simple concepts of like a post-scarcity world have yet to be treated properly in anything that's been modern track.
Culture, if we...
You know what else they never covered that drives me nuts? The fact that they have unlimited amount of money, and everything looks like a bloody shopping mall, and it's shiny, and no one is saying, hey, we don't have budgets for this. One of the beautiful things about the very first Nostromo, which I loved in Alien, was the fact that it was clear that a corporation had control over just how much money they were willing to spend on this mining vessel. And that's not going to change in the future. It's not suddenly something that there's not going to be there's not going to be an endless amount of money. So what things are going to be there, what things are not going to be there, it can actually be part of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Limits make an interesting story.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in a utilitarian situation like you describe, a mining ship. That's very utility. It's going to be designed with, stainless steel hard corners and things like that. It's not going to be designed for luxurious comfort and you want to curl up with your feet on the captain's chair. It's not going to happen.
I just want to let everybody know.
It was all bulkheads.
Sorry,
go ahead. I was just saying, in the original Star Trek, it's all bulkheads, and then by the second one, they've got carpet on the walls and rich Corinthian leather.
And the bridge is way too big because you're yelling at people. The idea is that you need people as close to you as possible so you can talk to them easily. It's they don't think about how this stuff actually works and how it should work. It's the bridge should not look like a discotheque.
And well, I love the fact that the consoles were all designed, especially in TNG, to just be a part of the unit's workspace.
And
so
to
they
explode.
were, everything was attached and purposefully designed. Which
I still thought TNG's bridge was a bit too big.
Me too.
But and that Norwegian teak, that was okay.
Yeah, I will say that in widescreen, it looks a lot smaller. So
I just want to let everybody know that if we are at the beginning of the technological singularity, come join us in 100 years. Culture Casino will be sharing with us the results of his Dyson sphere and how many trillions of purple potatoes he's making with it.
He doesn't have enough money for a Dyson sphere.
So that's one of my
He barely has enough money for a Dyson vacuum. I'm just kidding. Hawaii Dragon Star.
The fact that budgets don't exist in the future.
Yeah, and it drives me crazy when Elon says that money will, there's not going to be anything such as money. The problem with that is there will always have to be some sort of resource so long as there is a finite anything. Yeah. And since there's finite space, finite land, and finite proximity to things, then you have to have some sort of resource. Like, how are you going to decide who gets to be the front of the row in the concert, right? There will always be a hierarchy in the social order.
Right. I'll just say there's no money in prison, but there's definitely money in prison.
Well, yeah, and there's money in prisons, as a matter of fact, if you have private penal colonies. Speaking of which, let's get to the fact that in my lifetime, we're going to be mining space rocks, asteroids. I'm very much.
I got news for you. Earth is in space. Hawaii Dragon Star for $5. As both a Star Trek and Star Wars fan, Star Trek has fallen far below Star Wars only because there has been a slight hiatus of shows. They need to let Star Wars lay fallow after M&G. Which one's M&G? I'm forgetting.
Mandalorian Grogu.
Oh, Mandalorian Grogu. Sorry. See, this is how garbage their naming convention is. Yes. Character and character.
I have to ask a question because Paul's here, and I don't get to see him as often.
As long as it doesn't end with a wonderful 5 to 10 minute discussion of Star Trek.
No, I was going to ask about Star Wars specifically. Do you believe that whatever this is, M&G, is going to be successful? Do you think that film has a chance, or do you think that they've booted enough fans away that it can't be?
My feeling is it's going to be more successful than people imagine.
I'm thinking $500 million. $500 million is where I'm putting it probably at the box office. I could be wrong.
Is that successful?
It depends on the quality. Well, the budget's tiny.
If they make money.
Here's the thing. The movie supposedly costs $140 million so far in what they've filed in tax documents in the state of California. Somewhere before it comes out, they're going to put the entire visual image of whether or not Star Wars is successful on this movie. And that is going to create a temptation on the corporate side and the marketing side to overdo it. Unless Josh D'Amaro decides that this is a good foray to make big changes at Lucasfilm. So I think costs are going to get. I don't think cost discipline is going to happen on this one. Just a theory. Apex Comics for $2. Star Trek needs to bring back the Dropkick.
Now that's an avatar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is quite the avatar. I like the move where Kirk is on the Genesis planet with with Christopher Lloyd there, and he does the double karate chop to both sides of the neck. That's a move right there. Packing Protons for $5. Follow the freshman junior academy members on Earth. Seniors get to be followed in space on a starship to test their skills. Like Wesley Crusher?
Yeah.
Or they just happen upon a starship that was abandoned on a planet, and then they, just take it to space for fun.
That's right.
Just J10 for $10. I argue that Academy is like current schools. Throughout the past decade, I watched students come in and out of Upright Citizens Comics. No, UCSB. Is that? I don't know what school that is.
It's University of California, Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. More often than not, they were not ready for the real world. I just found out there's no such thing as the real world.
Schools are a product of the Industrial Revolution, right? They're set up for that. Before the Industrial Revolution, there was an apprenticeship program that people did, and before that, we can go back in time. But I'm not even sure that schools as currently formulated are going to exist in the future. So again, another example of maybe Star Trek not spending the time to think about, well, what would this be like down the road? Would we be trained by AI and not teachers, but custom systems just for me? And you can be very imaginative with that, right? You can come up with all kinds of cool things that inspire people. And instead it's like, well, what if it was just like high school today, but in a spaceship?
And what if we send our AI through high school?
Well, what if we disengage from the Rothschild models completely? That would be amazing for society.
You just don't want prom.
Rich. I bet some of those Rothschilds are pretty good looking. They have all that plastic surgery can offer. Teddy D for $5. I haven't wrote this in a bit. Thank you for always encouraging freedom of thought and engaging conversations, specifically Star Trek this time. Now this makes me feel bad for cutting off the conversation.
We're here to talk about entertaining things in an entertaining way, even when the bad people have come and done away with the things we love. So thank you, Teddy. It's a pleasure to talk about it as ever with you.
John Maynor for $5. Peanut oil is incredibly safe. You can easily get it from sending peanuts through a grinder. I thought that's how you got peanut butter.
Let's just give it to him. Just give the man his moment.
I didn't talk about nuts. Nuts have some wonderful benefits. In particular, walnuts. Walnuts look like your brain, right? When you crack one open, it looks like your brain. The inside,
Culture, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't know. I don't think my brain looks like a walnut. I'm not sure about yours, but
okay. Well, I'm older, so that's probably why.
And peanuts are not nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him over there. Oh, he's on the back footer now. Culture, you okay, buddy?
No, please
okay
explain.
There?
Peanuts are not nuts.
Okay, well, tell us about cashews then, Culture. Paul, get ready.
Cashews?
Tell us all about those seeds.
They're delicious, and the best ones come from South America.
They're great. They're great for nut oil, right?
I'm not. I've never ever tried that. I mean, I've tried various butters that quote unquote nuts or legumes are turned into.
Right now he's racing, trying to think if a cashew is a nut.
I'm not racing at all. I have no idea. The internal
monologue is real.
I have another nut. I'll tell you what. Glade Riven for $5. Trek needs to commit to TMP/cassette futurism. Bring on the industrial gear fascination.
Right.
Yeah.
He's using my term, my trademark term. I mean, one of the brilliance of Star Wars was it's a future in the long, far past, or whatever their slogan is, right? that they can have these ships filled with all sorts of switches, physical dials, stuff like that, because it's this combination of some future and some past. And then Dune also had that terrific device where they banned computers because it was not doing society particularly well. And then you end up in Star Trek where you start having to believe the MacGuffin that in the future everything wouldn't be voice command, and you're still going to have people on navigation and communication, really, but you kind of forgive that because it gives people something to do. But you kind of know that in the future it's all going to be voice command, right? So, but that makes it less interesting.
Or commanded through some sort of neurological thing.
That too. I mean, yeah, that's entirely possible.
Yeah, I think, believe it or not, despite the fact that I'll resist it at all levels, we will be having an appliance attached to us, maybe essentially from birth.
I hope it's not a refrigerator because I don't want to carry that around.
It's not what I was saying.
Kalioth for $5. Culture Vic I think there's supposed to be a comma here. Culture Vic has the typical Hollywood career full of shady actions, lawsuits, harassment, and underrated relations with fans. He needs waistband. I don't know this person, so I'm not going to comment on it. Teddy D for $5. When I was a teenager and young man, my dad would watch Star Trek late at night. I fondly cherish those times because he's a while. There's a lot of people who have a tie to watching a multi-generational show here. Since there was a Star Trek, then Star Trek The Next Generation, it creates a good conversation. You modernize too much, and you get something to where only a subsect of the current audience likes this garbage, and you can't really do anything with that. So,
but here's to watching good stuff with good dads.
Yeah, I was just going to say, parents sharing their favorite stuff with their kids, I think, is really, really important. I know during the heyday when, during the Frantics comedy group that I was with, one of the most precious things that I could hear were young people who had grown older, recounting that when they drove to Florida from Toronto or Montreal or whatever, that their dad would stick in a cassette of our sketches, and that's what they would listen to all the way down to Florida. And that's why they grew to really enjoy our comedy. That was the best thing I could possibly hear.
Do you recall, or at least I do, you and you're a little older than I think about 10 years. But do you recall listening to the Dr. Demento show while going places at night?
All the time.
Yeah, it was kind of a way. I even fell asleep to it sometimes, but there was so much more audio entertainment available. Mm-hmm. I think that's a valued commodity that has just all but disappeared. I mean, I guess technically podcasts can be utilized as audio only, but I feel like
we on podcasts just have not matched the Firesign Theater.
No.
Weird, wonderful days like that. People have tried to do album comedy on podcasts, and that's not been good.
Yeah. Archer Merchant for $5. Retcon Kurtzman Trek. Also, no matter how they argue it, if they kill off Toby/Hugh in the opening, people will check out, and people already checked out.
Yeah. Here's a better idea. Toby and Hugh are in the movie the whole way, and they're the heroes, and we'll follow them, okay? Yep. And give us real Captain America. Boom. $1 billion. $2 billion.
They're going to be alive in the end. Chef Eddie for $5. I was sad that I had no shoes until I met Wilton the Troll, who had no legs.
He's got no legs.
Yeah. Some people say that comparison is the thief of joy. And then you look at Wilton and you just have to laugh.
Yep.
Bing.
Yep. Comparison Ford.
Ha! The first Dragon Queen for $5. 1. And then Teddy D for $5. Done. And gives 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Wow.
Yes, we've hit the goal. We're going to do one more story. While we do that, if you type Q&A into the chat, Jonas is going to catch it, star it, and then we'll put it up. We'll do 10 Q&As at the end of the show today and have a real good time. We'll get Vash back on. Vash, get back in here. I clicked the button.
I'm supposed to be gone in about 5 minutes, so...
Teddy D, this one's for you, buddy.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
Jonas, if you'll just star him, we'll grab him. All right, folks, let's go. Let's hit the final story, and we'll get the rest of the super chats on the other side let's talk about possibly the return of comedy. They're uncanceling comedy. That's the promise we're getting from Hollywood right now. Marlon Wayans promises Scary Movie 6 will cancel the cancel culture and bring back the funny biz. This is at thatparkplace.com by Trevor Denning. Here's what it says. 25 years after its debut and a decade after its last installment, the Scary Movie franchise is back with what it calls a rebootquel. Starring co-writer Marlon Wayans said the new film isn't just about reviving the spoof genre, it's about pushing back on what he sees as a more cautious comedy landscape. What we're trying to do is bring back laughter, he said. This is about bringing back comedy the way it used to be, and I think the only way to do it is you have to cancel the cancel culture. This is something that we've been calling for a very long time. You cannot be funny without being abrasive. You must take on the orthodoxy to make a joke. That's the whole point of the thing. So the fact that now they're figuring out you got to cancel culture. Paul, the only thing I'm sad about is it took this long to get there. I wish comedians had immediately pushed back against the woke orthodoxy in the effort to stymie and stop everybody from saying something that might offend. But here we are. And finally, it looks like we're going to get the win. I think comedy is desperately needed because, Paul, they are desperate right now in Hollywood trying to find some way to save things. If we go to the Hollywood Reporter, the city council is greenlighting measures to boost production in LA. They killed a lot of the favorite genres we love, and comedy is one of them. So, Paul, how badly do we need funny business back, and can they bring it back? How quickly?
Well, there's no doubt that it was a core part of the movie and television business. I did the research on it. Anywhere from 20 to 25% of all movies every single year were comedies. And I'm not just talking about the crass comedies, but back in the day, you had Cary Grant in any number of comedies, right? I mean, that was a staple of Hollywood. You could even look to the Ivan Reitman movie Dave, which is a very gentle throwback kind of comedy. That's a comedy, right? And so we shouldn't just be concentrating on the vulgar stuff, although I'm really looking forward to
the vulgar stuff.
To the vulgar stuff. I mean, I think we need it as like a palate cleanser. Unfortunately, Naked Gun, the most recent one that shot blanks. Although anyone out there who can find the movie Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, I would really encourage you to go see it because it is nothing like you will ever see. It's inventive, fun, funny, an amazing comedy. But it's leaving the theaters in droves these days. It's kind of run its course. Yeah, we need comedy. I mean, I think that's an important part of it. One of the problems with the most recent, DEIing of comedy is that an awful lot of people who had comedy careers kind of all, I think, voluntarily ran their course. You know, whether it was Will Ferrell, whether it was the guy who did Severance. Gosh darn it, what's his name?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people who did a whole bunch of comedy and I mean, they have every right to stop. I mean, there's no law that requires them to continue any kind of career, but all that stuff, kind of all these heroes of ours stopped all at once.
Paul, how much did it damage, real quick, and I'll get you in, Ron. Paul, how much did it damage comedy to go to streaming and not have those redundancies built in where, for example, the Austin Powers movies, I know the first one didn't really succeed until it went to DVD and VHS. How much does that hurt the genre that you either have to make it big at the box office or else just stick it on streaming in the first place is kind of the way they're viewing it?
Yeah, I think comedy more than anything else is something that you want to possess and find on your own. And then it becomes special. I think comedy has suffered from the fact that there's no more DVD sales, really.
Yep. Ron, your question?
I was just going to say that when it comes to actors like Ben Stiller and Will Ferrell, they're acting like their past work has offended their current self, and I have issues with that.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It doesn't make any sense, and it's not just them. I mean, we've seen it of a lot of
Steve
Hollywood
Carell.
Steve Carell.
He's apologized for The Office.
which is one of the greatest shows of all time.
I mean, the whole point of his character in The Office was to be unapologetically offensive and naive about it and dumb about it, and like that's what made it the comedy. And it's sad to think that we couldn't do that anymore. And so I'm looking forward to this. And I'm hoping that somehow they can involve Chris Pratt and Anna Faris together in the script, because and talk about their past relationship. That'd be just hilarious if they. I don't know if they're on good grounds at this point in time, but that would be funny.
But the success for the future is not going to involve resurrecting the gang from Scary Movie, the Wayans brothers. The success for the future is going to be to nurture a whole bunch of new crazy people and executives that are willing to green light it. Now, that being said, it has to be done cheaply, because the expectation is that it is an English language product. One of the arguments that Hollywood has always had is that comedy doesn't travel, and
right, because it's dependent on the semantics of the language in which it exists.
Yeah.
For the most part, there are visual gag movies that you can do, but they tend to be more juvenile. So
but we need comedy. People want to. I mean, if you want to fill the theaters, it's one of the genres that people want to go with other people to see.
And it's a feel good. And so we need that. We need that again. And people need to laugh together. It's cathartic for the whole society.
I agree.
I think, and for myself, like when I think that I have to go back and I want to feel good on a bad day, like I'm not feeling it, and I have to go watch Three Amigos, or I have to go watch Spaceballs, the original one. I mean, they're 40-year-old movies, 30-year-old movies, and because there's nothing like that, there's nothing that good that's come out just in the last 10 years or 15 years. That's sad.
We could count on our hands the number of comedies, memorable comedies that have come out in the last 10 years.
Well, do you think one of the reasons why the second Ghostbusters film failed was because it wasn't comedic in any way?
It gets a bad rap, but it's because it's a comparison to the first, I think. It's not terrible. It's not
funny. I mean, can you point out your favorite comedic scene in that film?
When Rick Moranis is making out with whatever her name is who plays Janine, the level of lovemaking that they awkwardly do. Remember when they're supposed to be watching Oscar babysitting him? It's funny. They have no idea what they're doing. They're both novices in love. Anyway, yeah. Vash, they're saying that if they get a success with Scary Movie, which looks like they could, they're going to bring back white chicks and do white chicks too. And I'm going to emphasize white chicks because it's funny to do so. Vash is the way to go, maybe to be as offensive and go on the offense with comedy to sort of really jolt the society and say, this is what is humorous again.
I don't know about being offensive for the sake of being offensive or as offensive as you can go, but you have to. I would say you have to bring back some level of offense. And what I mean by that is not necessarily like putting anybody like down ridiculously. So I mean, if I don't know, Paul, maybe you can speak to this better than I can. But from what I understand about modern writing rooms and executives being involved and so forth, it's like, oh, we can't make fun of these people. We can't make fun of this. We can't do that. And when you look at the old comedies, maybe like 40 years ago, as you brought out, Ron, it's the problem is that the modern, comedy writers look at that and go, well, that's of that generation. It's passe. It's old fashioned. We have to do something a little bit more modern, something a little bit more inclusive. I mean, we've seen this for a lot of years in the video game space, especially where even reboots of games like Saints Row, for example, you have a lot of creators coming out and saying, oh, well, that comedy was of that era. We're going to do something, fresh, hip, and new, and more inclusive. We don't want to put anybody down. So what do you get? You get really, really bad comedic writing, if you can call it that, to be quite honest. And I think that's what was really being laid out here in the story. It's like the cancel culture. We can't be so concerned about offending so many people that we can't do any comedy at all, because, well, that's kind of the purpose of a comedy in the first place. And comedic films, I think, have every ability to be as successful as maybe like modern horror films, where they don't have huge budgets attached to them, but they do make their money back, and they do have a segment of fans that keep going back for that specific genre of film. Similarly, I think you could do that with comedy in the modern era. It's just, I think it takes a little bit more risk, which is what was being referred to.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Vash. The entire purpose of comedy seems to go back to the jester, right? That was the idea, was to give free speech to a non-free society when it comes to expressing yourself. And that's the antiseptic to bad ideas. The ability to mock something or gently tease or do whatever, that's what helps you come out of the hubris of, oh, no, this is going to work even if it's not going to work, if everybody else knows it. That's the idea of the emperor's new clothes. This is the whole purpose of laughter, I think, is to be able to take away that veneer that we put on each day and say, no, you're still human and you still make big mistakes, and that's everybody.
Yeah, but I think that's, as you pointed out, the antidote here. And it's one of the reasons why all these social media plays by governments are to censor the ability to make fun of the politicians who are misbehaving.
Despots don't like to get made fun of, culture. They don't like it.
Hey, look, to look at the reaction in various, what were formerly Western democratic societies, whether it's America's Hat or our friends over there in the jolly UK, we have a different level of tyrants now. And they don't like being made fun of because
they're beta tyrants, though, culture. They're a special kind of tyrant.
Well, they're undermining a system of government that worked for the people. So
they weaponize empathy, and you can't make a joke against weaponized empathy because you might hurt somebody's feelings. Paul, I think you've earned the ability to give us the wrap up on this one. Your thoughts on the return of comedy potentially, and what it would mean for the industry.
Well, I think it's crucial. And in fact, I think the industry needs to be concentrating on comedy more than anything. I just finished watching Top Secret again. I hadn't seen it in a long time, with Val Kilmer. Unbelievably funny movie. One of the things that actually made it very funny was the fact that it was filled with a lot of Jewish jokes. And I miss that. I'm Jewish, and I think one of the things that we've lost is
I thought you were Ethiopian.
Crazy Seinfeld-y, old style Jewish kind of humor. No one's doing that anymore. Comedy, I think, should actually be the thin edge of the wedge of all the movie studios if they're trying to resurrect the business, because it can be done quickly, can be done fast, and it will make stars and personalities faster than the dramas will.
All right, Paul is not Aboriginal. Got it? Writing that down right now. List of ethnicities. Yeah, you're not an Aborigine, not an Inuit, not Ethiopian, Jewish.
That's right. There we go.
Consider me shocked. I did not see that one coming. All right, folks, let's get to those super chats and the special Q&A and see what you have to say. Oh my gosh, 23. Folks, we're going to have to go at a rapid fire. We do apologize, but people have to go places, and we got to do that for them to be kind. Christian Corralejo for 5. Sci-fi concepts I'd like to see more are orbital habitats, megastructures, posthumans, and non-FTL space travel. How about you? We'll give only one of these. Who wants to take it? One person give a response to this one. Culture, what do you want? How are you going to get your purple potatoes into space? You want a Dyson sphere? You want a giant ring structure?
I want an elevator.
You want a space elevator? Yeah. Straight to the moon.
Well, I'm not sure about that. It's not, you couldn't do that very well.
Well, Mars,
you could do it somewhere else.
Man, I wouldn't recommend Venus. Archer Merchant for 2.
Sounds like Space 220.
Also, retcon Disney Star Wars from the canon. How about we fire it from a cannon? We've got Packing Protons for 2. MNG will make Solo money. Oh, Solo, you can't see it? That's what the prediction is for Mandalorian Grogu. Wild Man of Yavin for 5. 3 words. Yabba dabba doo. That is all. Carry on with your regularly scheduled program. Thank you so much. We've got Packing Protons up there for 5. You guys are as close as I could find in my old Scott and Todd radio show. No one does original record content anymore. Now He-Man on records. You know, that's why we're trying to do all this funny stuff we do in the midst of the news reporting. We're trying to liven it up around this place. And we've got just the kind of faces to do that. Culture always smiling. Vash always ready to go. There's Ron, and he's, missing the Batman cowl. We'll fix it, folks. Now that we know. Do you have that on the ready, Ron? Can you show that one more time? Look at this guy. Been holding out. He's been Batman the whole time. Views with Hughes, Culture and News. Get over there and subscribe to him. Hail all and hail to you, sir. Views with Hughes is a YouTube member. Yet again, Hughes, you fluctuate so often between VI Pro and no, but we're happy to see you going at it again. Welcome back, buddy. James All Day TV for 2. Seth MacFarlane still keeps comedy alive. One of the few, you bet. Christian Corlejo for 5. A comedy I liked better than I thought was Jack Black's Anaconda. It made a lot of jabs at current Hollywood, including scripts with no ending. Here's to Spaceballs 2 as well, folks. Hoping. We need funny stuff again. Hawaii Dragon Star for 5. How do we manage to keep political correctness managed, but woke manage to take over everywhere? Well, that's a deep question. How did woke manage to take over everywhere? Because it was politically advantageous to certain groups to do so, and they weaponized it. Packing Protons for 2. Ghostbusters 2 is quotable. Being miserable. Culture, is it just because you don't like that painting? Does it scare you? Is that why you don't like it? You didn't like the dancing toaster scene? What's your problem with Ghostbusters 2?
I didn't find any humor in it at all anywhere. Not even the uncomfortable humor you seem to find. I felt like the lighthearted family elements of the comedy from the first film were largely ignored. I thought it focused it in on a lot of various types of political messaging, whether or not it was intended or not. And I think it was no longer a love letter to the originals or to the fans of the originals. And
I think it has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 problem. I think that the cartoon became so popular, and after 5 years, they tried to make it very family friendly. And the first one's not necessarily family friendly.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I can look at it from that perspective.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get together. We'll have some mashed purple potatoes.
Yeah,
we'll have
plus
some au gratin.
Nobody
we'll watch
wanted
Ghostbusters 2.
Nobody wanted a Frozen Empire thing.
Oh, man. Boy, that's something. Packing Protons for 5. Kim Jong-un doesn't like being called Fat Boy. Oh, no. Well, we'll say it here because you told us to. And Tennille the 10th coming in for 2. I vote we make Paul the Hollywood joke czar. Tazar. All right, let's go through the Q&As, folks. Here we go. This is because the Super Chat goal was hit today. Chief William Schweikert out there for the Q&A. Pro once reported that if Marvel movies flop, we could expect to see a DC versus Marvel movie. If the acquisition of Warner Brothers by the Ellisons is approved, are we still likely to see DC versus Marvel? No. This makes it very unlikely that we will ever see that come true. Had Warner Brothers remained by itself, then that would have been more likely. However, given that Paramount is now purchasing this, we don't even know what's going to happen with James Gunn. And without James Gunn at DC, you have less of a connection there. Also, the Ellisons have all of this money and all of this power, and they want to go after Disney. They want to be the new empire. So I don't know that they want to coordinate with Disney. That's what I would say. Guys, any other thoughts on that one?
I think if Netflix, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Paul, but I think if Netflix had been the one to acquire them, they would have more readily worked with Disney since there's already a built-in pathway of Disney material to Netflix over time for their streaming purposes. I think there would have been a lot more upside for them. There's no upside for Paramount, Skydance / Warner Brothers Discovery to work with Disney. In fact, it's detrimental to them. They need to keep the brands separate and not try to bring them
There's
together.
also the issue of, with the Ellisons taking over, if Gunn leaves, they may restart the whole thing again. So,
hey, the Saudi money, the Saudi smart money is towards a reboot of, in a limited way, of Zack Snyder's original.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
All right. Tall, dark, and handsome, Hot Wheel or Matchbox cars? What do you guys say?
Wow. That's a terrible question.
I collected both of them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, without the Matchboxes, I wouldn't have my Citroëns and my weird Jaguars.
I wanted authentic die-cast metal cars. That's what I wanted. The minute they started mixing in plastics, I'm like, no thanks.
Not going to happen for culture.
Things. Hot Wheels and Matchbox, two different things. You can have both.
And I did.
Let's not argue.
Be kind. Bridge the gap. Plastics back. No, die-cast only. Paula Bradley's fun. Ron, you sent this one in. Where is the best place for frog legs today? Well, not Doc Hopper's. Frog legs, guys. This is I guess your local Chinese buffet.
France.
Go to France.
Yeah.
That's
the West
snails,
Coast.
Paul. That's snails.
No,
Frog
frog
legs
legs are
too.
Okay.
French.
Don't call them that though. It's offensive.
My mom used to cook them all the time when I was a kid. It was so fun watching them hop around in the pan.
Yeah. Yeah. Kermit loves you, buddy. Blue Sharky says, how can we mentally break the activist so they can stop destroying everything? If they can destroy so many franchises, surely there must be a way to destroy the woke motivation.
Wow. That's a very difficult question. This one woman, I'm trying to remember her name. Woke is the feminization of institutions. Caring that has metastasized into a cancer.
Yep. Toxic empathy.
Too much empathy. Too much empathy, and my theory is that there's so many straight women who are supporting trans men only because they're actually Mary Kay salespeople, and they've got too much product left in their garage, and they got to sell it. So
that's right. They've increased the market space.
That's exactly right. So this is one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in an upcoming appalling news item is the secret Mary Kay connection. The problem is if you watch the protests and you watch how the anti-Israel protests metastasized into the pro-IRGC Iran protests.
They just swap signs, Paul. Somehow they always find a new sign.
And then they're all printed, always ready. But notwithstanding that, the schools are just completely infested and they're filled with this black, dark mold. And I don't know how you get rid of that.
I think the way that you get rid of this is you have to implant an adventure into the minds of young people, because going on an adventure requires you to be self-sufficient, and there's no better antidote to the nurturing. Tangled has this, the archetype of the nurturing evil mother or stepmother who comes in and won't stop turning the hero into the infant. The way that you escape that is you go on an adventure and you do so forthrightly with your own self as the person who takes you on to see it through to the end. And if you do that and you've got an adventure to go on, it's hard to be nurtured forever in the way that woke wants to do so.
Or remove corporate incentives for corporations to aim films this direction.
Yeah, that's slowly happening. Corporations are getting out of the DEI business, but we've also lost a lot of legitimate, interesting, useful, hands-on jobs.
Yes.
That is something we're never going to get back.
Oh, man, we could go on now, guys, for 20 minutes because with AI, this is going to be so interesting. Well, the white-collar jobs are going to be under pressure, and the blue-collar jobs are going to be the ones that are in demand because the welders, the plumbers, the architects, they still have a place to be. But the guy who's, doing, I don't know, the guy who's typing up spreadsheets, well, computers can do that. So that's going to be an interesting change in dynamics. Andrew Brake for 586 says, Q&A, did you see Six Flags confirm the sale of 7 parks? Sad day for St. Louis, but hopefully we get our RMC boss. Yes, huge changes in theme parks, and I'm sure, Vash, you're probably going to be talking about that tonight, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. I've been tracking that story for quite some time. Actually, when the initial Enchanted Parks was actually filed, I believe the trademark, and we could see that maybe Six Flags parks were actually going to be part of that deal. I was following it very closely. So I've been expecting this announcement for a while. Haven't been able to bring it to you guys, but we're going to bring it to you guys tonight. Maybe the savior of some of these parks that would have otherwise been closed.
Olivia wants to know, what's your favorite Trek show? Guys, what's your fave? I'll say The Next Generation for me.
Next Generation.
I have to go TOS.
Yeah, me too.
I was there.
Ron?
Yeah.
Next Generation is the one with Picard, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ron, this one's for you. Where in East St. Louis are you from?
I'm not from East St. Louis. I'm from West St. Louis, Chesterfield Creve Coeur area.
Okay. All right. You want to give us an address?
What was my address back then?
No, don't do it, Ron. Lord Amnesia, what's your favorite way to eat eggs? Culture, I know you want this first. Go at it, buddy.
Look, I try to keep the choline as intact as possible, which means that you keep
Starting
the
with
yolk.
choline.
You need the yolk to be softer and runny. The runnier, the better. But if you don't like over easy, over medium is about where I like to eat them most of the time.
Ron, what do you say?
Yeah, over medium's good as far as fried eggs, but my favorite way to eat eggs, probably scrambled or as a. I personally love to make my own omelets.
Vash, what say you?
Over medium with toast.
All right, and Paul, you make a mean egg according to Mexican Iron Man.
Yes. I do a light, fluffy scrambled egg.
Light and fluffy.
Use
I'm,
milk? Use milk or
There's a
no?
trick.
Use milk?
No, you actually mix it up, put some salt in it with some water, and let it sit for a minimum of 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Which breaks down the little tangly bits inside the egg and modifies the protein. And then when you quickly whip it up again, you throw it into your little saucepan.
That makes sense.
And you gently
I like that culture knows the technical terms for eggs and all the parts of them, the choline and all this, and Paul says the tingly bits. My favorite way is for a Western omelet. That's my favorite way to go. And I like to mix, when I'm making a Western omelet, I always like to mix it with half and half or heavy cream. And,
Heavy
stir
cream
it
is
real
something,
good.
yeah, it definitely does a little bolster there.
Sharp cheddar, though, folks. Sharp cheddar. Chief William Schweikert. Oh, I forgot. I actually had deep fried deviled eggs the other day, and they were phenomenal. Yeah, especially with the jalapeno. Panel, if you were in charge of the Star Trek franchise, what would you change to the franchise to make it a success? Let's do just one of these. Paul, you tell us. What would you do to change Star Trek?
bring science back.
Bring back the science.
Yep.
Yep, I like it. Not the no, he's not asking for Fauci, okay? No, quit that in the chat. Quit that. Let's see. Hoshi Rio says, but can Hollywood even tolerate comedy that isn't funny, unfunny, PC garbage? Well, they're going to have to.
Will.
Yeah, financially they must.
They will.
Yep. And Sean, formerly John, what in your opinions was peak Disney and who's to blame for the downfall? There have been multiple rounds of peak Disney, and it's hard to strip those out and compare them because they take place in different times. Vash, your thought on this one, though?
Yeah, I mean, in the most recent era, probably right around the, like 2015, 2016, that's probably where it was the highest, I would say. And then I think booting out John Lasseter and that whole thing and how that all went down is probably where it's probably going away. Also, too, the rise of postmodernism.
Yep.
Right around that time probably undid the whole thing because
took out
momentum
Lasseter.
was crazy.
Yeah, that's part of what took out Lasseter. Yeah.
True.
All right, packing protons for 5. Does culture mean Frozen Empire or Vigo from Ghostbusters 2? I agree. Empire has problems.
Yeah, it's Frozen Umpire.
Frozen Umpire.
Yeah.
Okay. Streak. We've got packing protons for 2. There's the link, folks, if you want to type that in real fast or take a screenshot because we're about to be moving along. But there is the song for Purple Potato Power. It was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple power. No. Doge Power for 2. Femininity or intersectional feminism, they differ. We are talking about intersectional feminism. Femininity is a different thing entirely, although there is a proclivity in femininity to nurture and to take care of it. And intersectional feminism weaponizes that and then carries that into Marxism by identifying various groups as oppressed or not oppressed.
Oppression Olympics.
There you go. And finally, our last one.
Look up Helen Andrews.
Helen Andrews.
If you're interested in the best polemic on the subject, look up Helen Andrews. She's brilliant.
Brilliance indeed. Okay, folks, go check it out. Capo E Major for 10. Thoughts on the Duffer Brothers writing a script on A Nightmare on Elm Street. Is that possible under merged Paramount Warner Brothers? Lots of things are possible. I don't see why that would be impossible. Might have to do some contractual negotiations, but what do you guys think?
I don't care.
Vash, you care?
I guess anything is possible.
If you believe. All right.
Thirsty man.
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street coming to you from the Duffer Bros. I think, listen, Warner, Paramount, Skydance Bros, Duffer Bros, there's just too much marketing synergy. Do it. You got bros together. Packing Protons for 2. Here it is again, folks. Messed up the render. There's a new one for you. Go check out your Purple Potato Power. Click it. And moving on. And James All Day, TV for $5. If the Paramount Warner Brothers deal, Discovery merger goes through, it will. I can't see why it won't. Will Paramount Warner Brothers be Disney's competitor with all the IPs they have? If you take away the cruise lines and the theme parks, aka the CapEx, yes. They're on somewhat similar paths. Paramount has, well, they're saying they're going to do 30 theatrical releases. Disney did 12 last year. So they're bigger in that regard, but streaming, they're slightly smaller than Disney. But yes, Disney will now no longer be the Herculean IP king at the top. It'll be versus those two. Netflix not there, but bigger in streaming. Wildman of Yavin for 2, just because Pro is trying to hurry up? I say nay. And then Snarky Distinct Nugget for 20. Whoa. Pro memberships. Look at that. Go, Snarky, go. We appreciate you. So kind today. And Snarky, hopefully you can play with us. We're playing Mario Kart tomorrow on That Game Place. Come join us tomorrow, folks, 9 p.m. on That Game Place. All right, James All Day TV for $5. Can you see Universal Studios getting a theme park deal with DC and Looney Tunes? Yes. Yes, I can, and very soon.
Yep, absolutely. Six Flags needs the money.
Mm-hmm. Packy Protons for 2. Let's keep Pro forever here. You know what, folks? You challenge me, we'll keep going. I mean, Paul might have to dive out, and Culture may collapse. Ron's lights may go off behind him, and Vash will say, I've had it with this place. But you keep on, we'll read them, I promise. Stormweaver says for 100 Canadian, also known as $27 USD. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Pro, Ron Bradley, Paul Chatto, Culture Casino, and Vashua Sky. Wish you and yours all the best. Take care, and thanks for all the great work. Stormweaver, it's an honor, it's a pleasure to be invited into your day wherever you are on this great, big, beautiful world. What a great thing to get to join you and be there where you are. Stormweaver, this one's for you. Maybe. Come on, StreamYard, play it. There we go.
No, it can't be.
But it is Stormweaver.
Perfect.
Packing Protons for 2. Talk louder to keep help Culture's migraine. Having a good time, aren't you, Culture? Here we go, folks. Moving right along. Snarky for 2. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Snarky for 2. Good day. Snarky dropping another membership. Thank you, Snarky, for coming our way. Wildman of Yavin for 2. The day is good. Of course it is. And Packy Protons for 5 is if Vash's Stones got a theme song, what style of song would it be? Vash, would it be heavy metal? Oh!
That's very true. No, I think it would be the continuation of the Jingle, Jangle, Jangle, right? And that's what everybody associates them with anyway, so you might as well go ahead and play off that idea.
There you go. Snarky for 2, ask and get it. I don't even know what that means. But I'll tell you what I know. Folks, I know you need to go over to Call Me Chatto. Paul, tell the folks out there about your channel. And while you do, John wants to know, are you Canadian Jew or Jewish Canadian?
I'm a Canadian Jew.
Canadian Jew.
Canadian first.
What about your channel? What is it?
Hungarian parents. So yes, you can check me out on Call Me Chatto. And if you want to have a little bit of fun and listen to what I was involved with in the past, then you can go to thefrantics.podbean.com and hear the 30 best episodes of Frantic Times. So thefrantics.podbean.com. Oh, look at that. You're fast there. There
we try.
I suggest you go there. It's the best stuff that I ever did with the guys. It's fantastic. So
folks, if you love Paul, you'll love what Paul has been doing all his life. Go check it out, listen to it, and enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, and Vash, you also, sir, have this coming out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tell the folks one more time, please.
8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be celebrating 1,000 subs. It's going to be incredible. We're going to be covering some stories, but mostly we're going to be bringing on our friends and really highlighting who has been there to support us and our friends, support me. It's going to be a lot of fun, so please go ahead and check us out. Skylanders, get on over there. It's going to be awesome. 8 p.m. Eastern tonight.
There you go. Wyman of Yavin for 2. Flibber to Gibbet. Well, Flibber to Gibbet to you too, sir. Snarky says for another 2. Jingle again. And then Packing Protons for 5. Canadian Jew is half on the left and Jewish Canadian half on the right side of a person. Get the ref?
No, I don't. But I was raised a Presbyterian, then found out I was Jewish when I was 18, which gives me the advantage that I am both handy and can get things wholesale.
Jubitarian, I believe they call it. All right, and down here, Snarky dropping another 10 pro memberships. Well, folks and friends, guess what? You can use that membership tonight because we're going to be doing all right with a live review out of the theater for Hoppers. Come check us out following Vash Sky's celebration. We'll be doing a Hoppers review again at 10 p.m. Eastern right as soon as he's done. And we just might have a member-exclusive segment to go along at the end of it. Snarky, this one's for you.
This goes out to all my fat finger super chat homies. Snark Dog, turn it up.
And while it was playing, Snarky Distinct Nuggets sent in 5 more pro memberships. Packing Protons for 5, the Black White Star Trek Person episode. Come on, people, come on! The yin and the yang, as they call it. And then would you look at this? Stormweaver back in with another 20 WDW Pro memberships. You all are just too kind as we're wrapping up the show. Folks, we're turning the chat from gray to green.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Is that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
Well, it's just me now. You've run all the other panelists off. They've had enough of you. I'll stay around, though. I'll do it. Snarky for 5. I will be there and ready to square off that gameplay. Tomorrow night, folks, 9 p.m. Come play Mario Kart with us. We've got Teddy becoming a YouTube member at an even higher level, I'm sure. And then Wildman of Yavin for 2. Love me some matzo balls. Culture, do you love matzo balls?
Yeah.
Ron, what about you? He does. Bash, you? Folks, it's time. We'll see you real soon. Catch you later. Take care. And until the next time, keep making the world a better place, because that's what we want to do. Guys, it brought you all up on the screen. I'm sorry. Outro play. Oh, no. Packing beat me to it. Darn it. Hang on. Packing says you will never leave. And then look at this. Gilliam 2 for 20. I clicked off the button to play the... This is why they all came back in the... You know, it's just us again, folks. It's just me and you. Just your pal Pro. Late night with Pro. Gilliam, thank you so. And then there was the Dragon Queen.
Return! The Dragon Queen!
And then there was the Wild Man of Yavin.
It was a peaceful planet until he arrived. Then he brought wild to our skies.
Good to see X-Wing out there lurking. We caught you, buddy. They caught you. Packing says you will never leave. Dance, monkey, dance. You may sing the song? Ron, you know the song?
Dance, monkey, dance?
Dance, monkey, dance, monkey, dance. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. I'm
going to click the button. They're all going to come back on the screen. I can't help it. Sorry, guys. I didn't want to do it. But outro, here we go. They got us again. Stormweaver. You people have gone crazy. You're just too kind with us today. My, oh, my. All right.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Please, sir, may I have more pro memberships?
What?
There must be something in the water. I blame it on the purple potatoes. Folks, Wildman of Yavin for 2 says never! But we're out of here. Catch you real soon. We'll see you tonight, 10 p.m., right here. Hoppers, Wild Review. Will the girl turn into a beaver? And will she ever return?
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint. They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.